and I think that there's always a delay whenever you first start this. But first off, thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys are tuning in right now, Daxman45 is streaming right now. Let me see who else is streaming today. I usually host Daxman, but I wanted to test out something before I hopped into hosting. Oh, Ultraloop is also hosting. Ultraloop is really cool. They are, it's a good friend of mine from work, Adam. And he basically does a series where you act like you're in a video store, and he does reviews and things like that. But anyways, super excited to be online now. So if you're watching, thanks for tuning in. We got a new format. Earlier, you probably saw me over that area. I don't know why I'm pointing. You guys can't even see it. That's where I was stationed at. Where I was trying to sit up straight. Mother always said to sit up straight. But I was over by the window, and so now I've moved over to near the kitchen area. I thought it would be a nice change of pace. And I'm really excited to get into some more Pokemon action later tonight with y'all. But before we jump into that, let's get started with our intro video. And we even have shortcut keys. Check this out. Hey guys, what is going on? Watching the intro video on my end, I did see some skittish, so I do apologize if that was a little bit skittish starting off. It's been trying to figure out things like that, so if you have any feedback as you're watching the stream, it's greatly appreciated. But anyways, before we hop in here, first off, huge shout out for those who have given feedback before. I always encourage it, so please definitely feel free to chime in on the chat. Love to hear from you. And also, feel free to take a look at the right for our team. This was the team that we utilized our last session. So you'll probably realize that, hey, the team in my video is in the right corner and at the top, or the left corner at the top this time around. So we're trying to change things up and move things around so y'all get a full screen view. But today we're rocking with our season team of Sneasel, Goodra, Gastrodon, Colossal, Galarian, Corsola, and Volcarona. This is kind of a fun team to play around with. The Sneasel Colossal mode is pretty standard, but what I wanted to do with it as well was kind of change it up a little bit and have Volcarona be kind of the more linchpin. Sneasel also pairs off well since we kind of removed our usage of Beat Up. Sneasel instead now has Fake Tears, which actually, you know what? Before we hop in here, I'm going to actually show you guys the team so y'all can check it out in the PC. I know I could technically access the box from wherever, but not a big deal. Okay, so here, let's go to our battle teams. Let's check out Battle Team 3, which is this team right here, and I'll walk you guys through it. So our first Pokemon we have up here is Gastrodon. Gastrodon was also used in my Players 2 Cup qualifier. Gastrodon is one of my absolute favorite Pokemon. Really works well in this format of VGC. I used it a lot in Sun and Moon as well, so it was awesome to bring Gastrodon back. Some of the things that Gastrodon really does well is being able to bring water attacks to him, making it great to deal with the Drago-based matchup, as well as having great reliable recovery with Recover. This allows me to play more passively when I need to, as well as playing offensively when I need to with Earth Power and Scald. In Sun and Moon, I actually had Sludge Bomb, and this was helpful to deal with the Tapus. This time around, I did not go with Sludge Bomb, I decided just to go with Stab with Earth Power, but I think in Sun and Moon I didn't have Earth Power, I just had Sludge Bomb and Scald to help out with that. It looks like we got Daxman up in here, and he is live now, so definitely feel free to check out the Daxman. As soon as I'm done streaming, I auto-host him, so you are always free to hang out on my channel and check him out as well. Highly recommend checking him out. He's an awesome content creator. and also a good friend of mine from high school. Over 10 years, it's crazy. I also have Volcarona. This is the second time I've been able to use Volcarona in a competitive team. The first time was all the way back in 2011 in my first ever VGC team. I know, crazy. VGC Worlds, I used a Volcarona similar to this. And Volcarona is actually holding the weakness policy. Idea behind this is that Volcarona used Bug Buzz and Hurricane. In VGC, I actually used Psychic, Bug Buzz, and not Fiery Dance, but Heat Wave. And the idea behind that was to help. The Psychic was to help deal with the Swords of Justice, mainly Terrakion. And it was super helpful because I remember one battle when I was waiting to meet up with Junichi Masuda, one of the directors of the game. I was in line to meet with him and get his autograph. I fought a guy, and basically the battle boiled down to us setting up Trick Room, and it was Volcarona versus Terrakion. But because Trick Room was up, I outsped it, and I was able to use Psychic, which was really cool. I might change Fiery Dance to Heat Wave. I'm not sure about that yet. Actually, you know what? I'm now thinking about it. I am going to go ahead and do that. Fiery Dance doesn't, besides the special attack boost, it doesn't really add too much to it. Heat Wave can hit both opponents. So that it's nice to have that option. And if I don't need to hit both opponents, I can usually go with Bug Buzz for the most part. So this Volcarona actually came from the Alola region. The Battle Ready thing is so helpful, let me tell you. I love that feature so much. It allows you to bring Pokemon from older games and just use them in the new formats. Galarian Corsola, you guys probably know from the competition. If you guys tuned in my stream last time, Corsola has been my go-to in pretty much every Sword and Shield team I've built. I have used Dusclops and Porygon 2 as well, but Corsola is my girl when it comes to Eviolite. I love Will-O-Wisp, I love Light Screen, String Staff, and Nightshade. And so the idea behind this moveset is that Corsola does really well against physical hitters with String Staff and Will-O-Wisp, and I can also adjust her to deal with special hitters as well with Light Screen. Kind of looking at her EVs, I kind of want to redo this where Corsola will have, instead of full investment in defense and HP, maybe give her special defense instead. This was meant to help deal with like living physical dark type moves. But as this format has become more special, I might make another Corsola, same moveset, but change it up to its HP and special defense instead. Goodra has been used in a couple of teams of mine. Goodra's really nice because of Sap Sipper, and that's helped me deal with Rillaboom on different occasions. Assault Vest makes Goodra really bulky on the special side, and also Goodra has great coverage moves in Dragon Pulse, Sludge Bomb, Thunderbolt, and Flamethrower. Goodra also can utilize physical attacks. I decided to use special for mine, and I didn't feel confident with Draco Meteor, so I went with Dragon Pulse for more reliability. Goodra is also a great candidate for a Dynamax Pokemon, so if I need to decide or be more flexible with who I choose for Dynamax, it's nice to have Goodra in case I need it, but if I don't need it, that's fine too. Sneasel, the big one. Sneasel actually was caught in Diamond and Pearl. There is a way you can actually get shiny Pokemon easily in Diamond and Pearl. There's a cute charm, but I actually used a old RNG abuse trick where you catch a Pokemon, you see what your starter seed is, then you do a couple taps on the Pokédex, and then you get a shiny. So I was like, hey, I'll get a Pokemon with some flair. So Sneasel has the Surf combo with a Colossal, but can also use Surf against my own Volcarona. I can use Taunt to stop any kind of shenanigans for setups. I can use Icy Wind to slow down my opponent. And then last but not least is Fake Tears, which has been really great. Fake Tears allows me to lower the special defense of my opponent, which makes them prime pickings for Dragapult, Goodra, Volcarona, Gastrodon, and the final one of my team, Colossal. Colossal being the kind of the main combo with Sneasel, but instead of weakness policy, I went with Life Orb. The idea behind this is to kind of fake who has a weakness policy. The opponent would expect it to be Colossal, but in reality it's Volcarona, and that can change things up for my opponent. So yeah, just Modest Nature, main lead Steam Engine, just hits as hard and fast as possible. Alrighty, with that, let's go ahead and hop in online. Actually, wait, I was just telling you guys I was going to change up Volcarona's attack to whatchamacallit, Heat Wave. I think Heat Wave would be a better option. Let's see if it already knows it so I don't have to use up a no, wait. Okay, perfect, yeah. I didn't want to use up a TR for it. If you can learn it already, that'd be awesome. Volcarona can also learn Rage Powder. I haven't used Volcarona to use Rage Powder yet. I know I can. I actually did have an Explosion team, where essentially it was like, I would take down 2 Pokemon from my opponent's side with like Landorus using Explosion with Normal Gem. And then it would be Volcarona, Amoonguss, and a Politoed. Politoed to set up Parasong, and then I just like wait out turns. And the nice thing too is like Rain would negate any damage from Sandstorm, allowing me to stay in with my Focus Sash. Parasong is a lot harder to pull off nowadays just because of Dynamax and things like that, and the game has become more offensively based. But it is still fun when you can do it. In that short time that we changed up our team, we dropped it by 3 points. Everyone is a battling. But yeah, let's go ahead and bring out Team 3, and let's see what they can do. I'm really excited for this. Maybe we'll play about like 3 to 4 matches. Hope you guys have been enjoying the music as well. Let me know what you guys think. And again, feedback is greatly appreciated. I want to make sure you guys have an enjoyable viewing experience. This is kind of new, trying out the new format with a lot of the different layouts and things, so we want to hear from your take. Alrighty, so what we have on the opposing side, we have Arcanine, we have our own Gastrodon, we have Amoonguss, we have Durant, we have Grimmsnarl, and we have Urshifu. Grimmsnarl has become a little bit more popular these days, so excited to see Grimmsnarl make a comeback here. Durant is interesting because as a hustle Pokemon, that Durant can cause a lot of problems. I think Volcarona without Dynamaxing could be helpful, and I could definitely call out like a Durant, Amoonguss lead with Heat Wave. I think one thing I wish I did have to deal with the Gastrodon on my opponent's side was a more reliable way, like let's say Volcarona did have Giga Drain. I could have taught Volcarona Giga Drain, I didn't in this case. Max Airstream's been really helpful though. So I think in this case, I do like Volcarona Sneasel. This also means that Grimmsnarl can't do anything against Sneasel besides Spirit Break, whereas Sneasel can actually punish Grimmsnarl with things like Fake Tears. I kind of like having a late Colossal, and Colossal can also deal with Gastrodon and the rest of the team really well. And then, I think that there isn't as much physical power, so I am going to go with Goodra in this case. I think the main thing with Corsola, though, as well, is that with Urshifu, if it's Water Urshifu, I haven't really packed enough for it. But I think that with the Pokemon I have, especially with Max Airstreams, that can help out a lot. So let's see what our good friend Adrian next brings out. We both stunting, we both styling with those suits. We are ready for this Pokemon battle here. So Adrianex is going to lead off with Grimmsnarl and Urshifu, which is actually really great. We do see the Water Urshifu here. We are going to see Volcarona and Sneasel come out here. So, awesome opportunity for me here. I could just go ahead and Dynamax and try to hit this Urshifu with a Max Airstream. And I think I might do that. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and Dynamax, hit this Max Airstream on the Urshifu, and to break any Focus Sash, I could try Surf. And what Surf would do would, I don't want to use Surf, because I could see this Urshifu going ahead and hitting this Icy Wind off. Or, not the Icy Wind. I could see the Urshifu going ahead and hitting Aqua Jet. And so I should keep that comfortably as I Dynamax here. The opponent could also Dynamax their Urshifu, but usually they don't. And the Icy Wind is to help break any sashes here. Grimmsnarl can't really do anything with Fake Out. I could see a Thunder Wave come out, but as long as I get a hit on this Urshifu and punish it, and then the next turn punish Grimmsnarl, I think we'll be good. What is up, Toby Two Spades? Toby Two Spades weighing in saying a Whiscash team. That would be kind of cool. I haven't really thought of a way to utilize Whiscash in doubles, but if there is a way, we'll figure it out. That would be pretty awesome, though. Grimmsnarl is going to go ahead and set up a Light Screen, so great call out there. That will allow the opponent to survive these special attacks. I am going to use Icy Wind, and the Urshifu misses. Man, that's like the last thing I would want to happen. So unfortunately, we might have to bring this down to its Focus Sash. We did lower Grimmsnarl's speed, which is nice. And we're going to get off this Max Airstream. Here we go. That is a lot. Actually, it does bring Urshifu down to its Focus Sash, so that's good to know. Urshifu is going to be taking... I will be able to get a speed increase here, but I might have to deal with the Surging Strikes. So the close combat actually is going to go on Sneasel, which is... I'm very much okay with that. That was a great turn on my end. I survived with that focus sash, and I am feeling comfortable here. Urshifu is going to lower its defense and special defense. So I guess I have to ask myself the question here. Do I anticipate Urshifu to hit my Volcarona with Aqua Jet? It might. I think what I want to do here, though, is I do want to go with Max Flare on the Grimmsnarl. Because the Max, I think setting up the Sun is going to be better. And then I'm just going to go ahead and go with Surf. I'm going to activate my own weakness policy and let's try it. That's awesome to hear. So Toby Two Spades is talking about a Wish costume that he's done a great job with. Toby, mind sharing the set of that Wish costume that you've been playing with? Love to hear more about it. So I do activate my weakness policy. The Thunder Wave is going to hurt a little bit. Not effective, but I do knock out the Urshifu thanks to the Surf, so that was a great call out there. I don't have to worry about it anymore. And we do get off the Max Flare, so we are going to get 2 KOs here, which will be very helpful. Actually, we don't get the second KO. It's kind of a bummer there. But the Sunlight turning harshly will help out in the long run dealing with that. I am glad I went with Surf that turn. Able to outspeed Urshifu is going to be super helpful. We're going to see Gastrodon come out. Actually, this works out well, and I'm glad I set up the Sun, because now I can actually just fire off Solo Beams here. I think what I want to do here is I want to hit with this Flutterby, and I think I'm going to taunt the Grimmsnarl. I kind of don't want any more crazy shenanigans from it. The Flutterby probably won't knock out Gastrodon, but the idea behind this is that it can lower special attack, making it easier in the long run. I got 4 turns of Sun right now. I think 4 turns of Sun after this. So even if I get a knockout here or we knock out Sneasel, it does give me a free opportunity for me to fire off a Solar Beam into this Gastrodon slot. So even without Colossal outspeeding everything, I can still make Colossal outspeed things. I can easily use Surf again. I might give Gastrodon a special attack boost, but at the same time, I'm like wrecking shop here. So Gastrodon is going to be the one that Dynamax here. We are going to see that I will taunt this Grimmsnarl. I think Grimmsnarl is actually just going to be like, you know what, I want to get rid of the Sneasel, which I'm okay with. And I actually outspeed both. I'm going to get this Max Flutterby out. That's going to be helpful. And so even if I activated my own speed, that wouldn't be a big deal here. Grimmsnarl is going to lower its special attack, and so is Gastrodon here. And we are going to see the Max Geyser come out from Gastrodon. This attack is going to be relatively weaker, thanks to... yeah, it barely did anything. Thanks to the special attack drop and the Sun. And just all the amounts of damage I was able to do. And we are going to see the Foul Play come from Grimmsnarl into the Sneasel slot, which is totally fine in this case. Sneasel is going to be knocked out here. But Volcarona, I think, did an amazing job so far. It might be, I don't have a way to turn back on the Sun, unfortunately. But I can try to scare out this Gastrodon thinking, oh man, Goodra might be able to do some good damage on me. Here comes Goodra. And luckily now, since I do know that the Grimmsnarl is going to probably use Foul Play, I could probably just knock it out, get it out of here. Volcarona at this point is probably going to get knocked out to the next Max Geyser. So I think what I want to do is just... yeah, I kind of want to Bug Buzz here. Okay, I guess it's turn order that I really want to look into. I think Bug Buzzing the Grimmsnarl will be helpful. Yeah, I'm probably just going to hit Dragon. I'm going to hit... yeah, I have to only hit the Dragon. Yeah, I think that's the tricky thing here. So we'll see what happens. I think the light screen is going to be a little bit problematic, but we can make it work. Oh, Weakness Policy Wishcast. That's a great call out. Yeah, Wishcast does definitely attract grass attacks to it. And in Dynamax, that's very helpful to use. So, yeah, great call out there of Weakness Policy Wishcast. That's awesome. Do you have... I would imagine you have other Pokemon set yourself up or kind of work with that. So I'd love to hear more about the rest of the team on that Wishcast team. But that sounds really cool. So Volcarona is going to be taking the rest of that Max Geyser. Gastrodon gets to fire off a couple more of those. And we get to go with Colossal. I think the main thing here is that Colossal is kind of put in a bind. I can get a speed boost here, but at the same time, I don't want to risk ramming into... yeah, so I am going to go ahead and protect here. And I think what I want to do is I'm probably going to... yeah, I'm going to Dragon Pulse the Gastrodon slot in an anticipation of it to try to Undynamax, but yeah, kind of looking at it, at this battle, I think the issue, yeah, I'm not in a great spot because Amoonguss can just redirect. I think the issue was, well, missing the Icy Wind hurt, for sure. That would have been great of just knocking out Grimmsnarl. Oh, Mantine, oh, self-clocked. Oh, that's a smart idea. Yeah, Mantine's actually no Seed Bomb, which is actually a really great, which is really weak on Mantine because of its low physical attack. So you'd barely take any damage, but you activate that weakness policy. So we are going to protect here. Amoonguss did decide to attack. Yeah, unfortunately we have to eat up a Max Quake, which isn't ideal. Max Quake isn't that, it's really effective. I wanted to hit a Max Geyser, but the opponent wasn't going to get that to us. Amoonguss does get a special defense boost, and so does Gastrodon. That's not going to be great. And we are going to see the Spore, but with Sap Sipper I get an increase in my attack, so luckily Spore doesn't work. So I am glad that Amoonguss did have to waste a turn there. I think the problem here is that Gastrodon is exerting a lot of great pressure. Gastrodon can actually recover here, so I think the next thing I want to do is definitely Heat Wave, and I think I want to go ahead and Dragon Pulse. I'm going to Dragon Pulse the Gastrodon slot. Yeah, Bullet Seed is kind of weird because you have to hit at least 2 times, and you can hit up to 5, which isn't great. So we actually get to hit this Gastrodon, which is awesome. I think that's going to help us out in the long run here. Gastrodon does eat a berry, which is the last thing I want to see. Yeah, if it didn't hit the berry, maybe I would have had enough power to knock both out. But we'll see. Yeah, that barely did anything. Gastrodon probably is going to get a free turn. Oh, it gets burned, but that's not enough. I reveal my Life Orb. I am going to deal with the Scald, but the Scald's coming in at the very end. So I won't be able to get the Steam Engine boost, unfortunately. And we're going to see a Spore, but unfortunately Spore and some Sap Sipper just isn't going to work here. This is unfortunate because now it's basically Goodra versus Gastrodon and Amoonguss, and I won't be able to exert as much pressure as I want to on Amoonguss. So we'll go ahead and try. I mean, the best move I got is Dragon Pulse here. I am going to try to aim for this Gastrodon slot, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. We won't see all these Rage Powders and things. And I'm just not exerting enough offensive pressure. Gastrodon is going to protect itself, actually, which is interesting. I guess maybe they're going to try to do some damage with, like, Sludge Bomb? We're going to see, yeah, that's what I was thinking. We're going to see the Sludge Bomb, maybe just understanding I would do that. And, of course, you know, hey, you know, it can't be a Gaming with Smile stream without getting poisoned or dealing with the secondary effects here. This is, and finally the rain is over, which would have been helpful in different circumstances. But yeah, Gastrodon's a great linchpin at the end. I think if I had my own Gastrodon, I could have set it down. I think I should have used my own Gastrodon in this match. I think I overcompensated with Colossal for sure. I think Colossal is definitely more a liability, especially because I already had... Okay, so it does the Protect again. So that was an interesting move. I don't think it actually has Recover. So I might be able to beat Gastrodon one-on-one. I might be able to beat Amoonguss one-on-one, especially because I have Flamethrower. Amoonguss is going to recover here, but the burn is going to be helpful in the long run. So I think what I want to do here is ignore Gastrodon, let the burn take it down the next turn, and start exerting pressure on Amoonguss. Light Screen is over, which is so helpful. Let's go with this Flamethrower and hope maybe we'll have enough turns to knock out this Amoonguss. Yeah, no, that's awesome to hear that it's been doing well in Showdown. If you mentioned that you want to change it up, Toby, what are some things that you wish to do to change up your team? I would love to hear kind of what you've been playing around with or what you're trying to accomplish with it. Man, having 2 Pokemon come at me with these attacks isn't going to be fun. Of course, I get the special defense drop. Of course, that's just a given. We're going to have to take another Sludge Bomb here. Black Sludge just covering Amoonguss' HP like crazy. Yeah, Gastrodon will be knocked out, but I think it's a little bit too late here. It's just, yeah, that just a lot of wasted turns on my end. Yeah, I mean, besides, I think what would have to happen is I get a huge critical hit, I get a burn. For some reason, I survive one, and Amoonguss gets knocked out, but of course, Amoonguss being smart is going to protect this turn around. I would definitely do the same thing. Prevent any chance of me getting that critical hit. Can I get... Maybe I get the critical hit here. I might survive. Okay, I get one. Oh no, that's it. That's it. And that is the game. Yeah, so unfortunate there. Adrianax did play well. I think I overcompensated with Colossal. Having Gastrodon at the end game would have been a lot easier. Shutting down the opposing Gastrodon and then us doubling up and then lead slot would have been great. But yeah, Colossal was pretty much dead weight, which became problematic. Cool, we got some Carbos. Let's keep on battling. Let's see who we'll come up against next. I'm really excited. You know, Knight's still young. And maybe we can come around and turn things around. So, something that might be helpful, Toby, as well is that, I'm trying to think. Because, yeah, you can self-proc, but I think you have to deal with your other grass Pokemon that might come in. And Goodra, like I'm using, might be helpful too. That way, if a grass attack does aim for Whiscash after your Dynamax is done, you can bring in Goodra to take that attack for you, giving you a free switch in. But yeah, just something to think about. Maybe it might be helpful. But in any case, we have Talonflame, Toxtricity, we have Urshifu, Primarina, Porygon Z, and Ferrothorn. I kind of like Volcarona because of how many weaknesses this team kind of attracts, and Sneasel can also help out with that. I kind of like Gastrodon in this matchup, despite the fact that Ferrothorn is there, but I feel like Goodra can also help out here. And especially too, ooh, that's a good call out too, yeah, Vikavolt is a great Pokemon. It seems like your team has a lot of slower players. Trick Room might be helpful to help you with speed control as well, or you could use your own Tailwind if your team is, your opponent's not expecting that, but Vikavolt's a great Pokemon. Also, great Bug Buzz attacks, but also Vikavolt has access to one of my favorite moves, Energy Ball, which is a very surprise, which can be very helpful here. So we are going to see Primarina and Urshifu versus Volcarona and Sneasel. Looking at this, I can survive I feel like what I want to do here is allow Sneasel to go ahead, and I'm going to go, I feel confident with this Max Airstream and the Urshifu, and I think I'm going to go ahead and use Icy Wind on both. The next turn I am going to go ahead and try to do something like, okay, let me use Fake Tears and then Max Airstream again, but I think that with this Primarina, see, I love that, and I think, Toby, you have a great call out there with Tailwind, Trick Room, and Energy Ball. The Tailwind Trick Room combo is great too, because what that allows you to do is, depending on what your opponent throws out, you can decide what speed control is going to look like. So luckily here, the opponent will also decide to Dynamax as well. That could be kind of problematic, depending on who he chooses. Yeah, Primarina, probably with that Max Geyser is going to hurt. I don't have a Focus Sash on the Volcarona, obviously. It is on the Sneasel, so I might actually be losing Volcarona here. But we'll see what happens. I do get it off the Icy Wind, which is nice. And so that will guarantee that... critical hit on the Urshifu. But this will guarantee that I do knock out the Urshifu this turn. But I don't know if I like the trade of Volcarona and for the Urshifu. So I do get the knockout here. If I do survive this Max Geyser, though, this does put me in a great spot to try to knock out this Primarina or do some significant damage to it. We do knock out the Urshifu, which is nice. So let's see what happens next. We are going to see the Max Geyser. This is probably going to go straight into the Volcarona. I don't know if I survive it, honestly. Yeah, I figured as much. That is unfortunate, but hey, critical hit. I actually am curious if I do then, because the opponent got the crit on that. I do sacrifice my Dynamax here, which is unfortunate, but the speed boost will help Sneeze out a little, I think, in the long run. I am going to go ahead and switch into Goodra. I kind of want my opponent to not think I have something for this Primarina, and I also want to kind of scout out for Energy Ball that might come out. And we are going to see the Porygon Z, so Porygon Z isn't going to be Dynamaxing. So I am going to go ahead and switch out Goodra immediately to Gastrodon. And I think this turn I'm just going to take it a little bit easy. I am going to go ahead and use Fake Tears on the Primarina spot. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible to knock out Primarina in the long run. Yeah, it might be possible I don't survive a Max Geyser in Dynamax as well. But yeah, I'll have to look into that. We're going to get the Tri-Attack into the Sneasel. That is going to do significant damage. I'm paralyzed. Of course that would happen. Porygon's Light does reveal the Life Orb. We're going to see the Max Starfall into the Guja slot. I do take it okay-ish. Primarina does exert a lot of pressure thanks to that, just high special attack here. And we do have, and Misty Train comes out at the wrong time, so it came out right before the Tri-Attack happened. But yeah, I think this turn, I think that and that's happened a couple of times where I'm just underestimating the power of Primarina, which has been pretty unfortunate here. But I think with one more Icy Wind, that might be able to help us deal with Porygon Z in the long run. I don't think the opponent is looking for quick KOs, but we are going to see this Protect. I don't know if it has Energy Ball or not. It is a great move to have for sure. We are going to see the Icy Wind. I actually outspeed both anyways, which is nice to see. That brings Primarina's speed down one more. That does bring Porygon Z's speed down one more. We are going to see Tri-Attack come out. Porygon Z is going to knock out the Sneasel, which is totally fine here. I don't think at this level, if we are going to see a Max Overgrowth, we are going to survive, but who knows, maybe we will. We are going to see another Starfall, so Primarina reveals that it doesn't have Max Overgrowth, which is nice. I do survive that. I get one more turn there. I think Porygon Z is going to be able to knock out Gastrodon at this point. So I guess the question, yeah, I think I'm going to lose. That's the problem. I definitely am going to lose a lot of Pokemon here. Gastrodon's already protected. I could try to recover. It might get a double target into the Guja slot. So I am going to try to recover to see if I can call that out. And it seems like Primarina is going to recognize, hey, I might try to target it down. So I think that I actually am going to go with Dragon Pulse into the Porygon Z slot. So I to get the Dragon Pulse off. I can survive at probably one Moonblast for sure. Wow, Porygon Z takes that like a champ. He goes after the Guja slot. I take that decently well. Gonna lose some HP. I get to recover, so I actually outspeed Primarina here, which is super helpful to note. And Primarina is going to go with Energy Ball, so it's finally revealing that Energy Ball at the very end. Oi. Smart tactic there. Letting my guard down a little bit, but Gastrodon is knocked out. Yeah, this is not looking great. I think now I'm going to go ahead and just Sludge Bomb the Primarina to knock it out, just to make myself feel better. But another blowout for sure. Kind of replaying this. Yeah. Oh, great. The special defense drop wasn't even enough. That's lovely. Yeah, so it's not of course I get a second critical hit. Unfortunate there, but it happens. And we're gonna get one Moonblast down there, and that is all she wrote. Primarina is able to knock me out, and we are out. Honestly, I haven't used, and I do have a Primarina I've used in playthroughs, and I do have the Liquid Voice and Eevee Trained one, but I haven't really used one in this format. Definitely seems like a great Pokemon to use, especially with that Energy Ball, ability, and also too, that one was interesting. I think that Primarina is Assault Vest, because it had Max Geyser. Most of those have Hyper Voice as well. We did see the Max Starfall, we did see the Energy Ball, so I wouldn't be surprised if that Primarina was Assault Vest. They accommodate for that. So definitely a Pokemon I should try to incorporate more in the team. I might actually think about using it in this team. Maybe switching out Colossal for that. And just using Sneasel for the speed, as well as the inner focus. The reason why I use Sneasel over over Weavile for this team's setup. So, old team had Gigalith, and then you could, that thing KO'd and stand into Dynamax Gigalith, which is definitely incredible. One thing I might be playing around with too is a CN team where it uses Stoutland and Gigalith. Stoutland has Sand Rush, so it can use After You on Gigalith to allow it to knock things out. But yeah, our first two matches have not been pretty so far, but we'll get a win in here. I'm confident we can get a win in here. Let's get some hype in the chat. Let's figure it out. Let's make it work. But I don't know what I would want to do differently. I think that when I'm banking on too much on knocking out my opponent immediately, and while they lost the Urshifu, it was a small cost to pay in the long run. Alright, so speaking of hard Pokemon to deal with, we got another Primarina. We also have Dusclops and Hatterene, Goodra, Urshifu, and Arcanine. Definitely a Trick Room mode could happen here. So I do like the idea of having Corsola and Gastrodon to help deal with any Trick Room mode. I think Corsola actually, I have been sleeping on Corsola a little bit this evening. The After You tech, yeah, that was fun. But I think what I want to do here is have kind of that defensive monitor or that backup. But I don't know what my lead... I could go Sneasel, Volcarona again. I could go Goodra. The problem with Goodra is that I think that Hatterene and Primarina both kind of put a mark in there, whereas at least with Primarina, Volcarona can work around it. It really just depends. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with Sneasel, Volcarona, and then Corsola, Gastrodon. And then kind of play around from there. I think the main thing here is that if Primarina decides to Dynamax immediately, or if I see Primarina, I might go with the idea of like, okay, maybe Primarina's going to Dynamax immediately, and I can use that turn to say, I'm going to use Fake Tears on Primarina, or use Fake Tears on Dusclops, and start kind of debuffing my opponent from there. Making it easier for Gastrodon and Volcarona in the long run to knock out my opponent. So, we'll see what happens. Anything could happen in these matches. And yeah, Toby using the Stoutland Gigalith tech, which is really fun. I enjoy that too. I haven't tried it out yet, so I'm really excited to give it a shot. But it was really cool to see. Alright, so we are going to see Urshifu and Dusclops go after Sneasel and Volcarona. So, interesting choice here. This does give me a little bit of an early, like, hey, I can... okay, so Dusclops does find our items here. So it does give me a little bit of an early. I could technically Dynamax, but I feel like that would be the worst scenario here. Especially because, like, I would probably be like, oh, Max Airstream. Dusclops is literally going to use something like Trick Room. So I feel like what I want to do here is kind of stop this Dusclops from using Trick Room, and then going with this Hurricane on the Urshifu. It's not that accurate, and I know I'm probably going to bring Urshifu to the Focus Sash, but I kind of want to just play a little bit safe before I see how things play out. So we are going to actually get the Hurricane off, which is awesome. I bring down Urshifu to the Focus Sash. Totally fine here. And Dusclops probably can't set up Trick Room. We are going to see a close combat into the Sneasel slot. Sneasel takes that like a champ. And Dusclops... so Sneasel is able to survive with that Focus Sash. Low knee attack, defense and special defense, not a big deal. Urshifu's at 1 HP. We are going to see the Nightshade. So, as expected, I thought something like that would happen. Maybe calling out that not actually going for the Trick Room, but shutting down Dusclops as far as not being able to exert much pressure was helpful. So I am glad I went for that route. Because I don't have an immediate threat for Trick Room, Volcarona can kind of work together with Gastrodon to kind of make things happen. But I don't know what the opponent will have in the back, so I kind of want to play a little bit safer. I think I'm going to go ahead and scald the Dusclops just to get the burn. I think I'm going to Heat Wave with Volcarona. The opponent might go ahead and just use Sucker Punch, which is totally fine in this case. I'll take the damage. Urshifu actually detects this turn. I am glad I went for the Heat Wave play and not had all my eggs in the Urshifu basket. I don't know what to... so, Toby asked, I don't know what to do with Wishcast team because all they need is some sign of speed control. Yeah, I think that's a great call out there. The problem with Wishcast is that it does need speed control due to the speed, due to the lower speed of it. But I think something that you can keep in mind too is what would be an appropriate Pokemon that could provide appropriate speed control. It might be that you know, it might be a Trick Room mode or it might be Tailwind, but I think Wishcast, I think that's one of the challenges with Cast. Is knowing the proper speed control, but could be something to figure out as well. I think here, I don't know. I think Earth Power for sure on the Dusclops. I'm taking a little bit longer than I want to really finish off the opponent. But I think so Primarina is sent out. That does prove some challenges here. And I miss on the Dusclops, unfortunately, but I will hit this Primarina with this Heat Wave. Not too much damage here, and Gastrodon will be able to pick up an Earth Power. Oh, that's the challenge that you're facing. It's the fact that you need speed control that's been a challenge. Yeah, I think that's a good call out. So I think what I might recommend might be, I don't. There isn't necessarily anything that would say like, oh, you should do this or not do this, but um, so you have speed control. But I guess let's see. I don't know what to do with the Dusclops because they all need some signs to be. It might be helpful to find a Pokemon that can operate. I guess what the Dusk. So I think what you're asking. Let me make sure that you're asking right. I'm understand what your question, what your main concern is here. It's more of you don't know what other things you want to do with the Dusclops team because you're not sure of. I'm sorry, the Whiscash team because you're not sure of. Yeah, I figured as much. Of what additional. Because all your team needs speed control, so you're not sure of what Pokemon would also be beneficial to add to that team. Is that? Am I understanding what you're trying to get at here? Alright, so we are going to send out Corsola, but I think it's a little too late here. We are taking way too much damage. Primarina is primed to go with that Dynamax. We haven't even used Dynamax. I was too passive this round. I'm just clicking buttons at this point. But yeah, not too great today. Man, what is going on, Steven? Steven, what is going on? I do get off the Heat Wave, but I mean, at this point, like I said, like I'm knocking out Dusclops, but at what cost? I'm able to burn Primarina, but honestly, like that's not helpful. Primarina's just gonna go for a Hyper Voice. Actually goes for Energy Ball. So Primarina, I am surprised. I think it was Choice Spect. I can. That makes sense. I think maybe in that case, what does speed control look like? So, if you think about it, right now in your team, your speed control is based on two factors. I think the first factor with your speed control is, I think the first factor with your speed control is that you use moves that do, so yeah, we're expecting the Wicked Blow here. That's going to do a lot of damage. Maybe I'll survive. Do I Curse Body it? I don't Curse Body it? You gotta be kidding me. That's unfair. That's unfortunate. Yeah, with the combination of the two, I'm out. I think what your speed control is, it's self-inflicted, right? I set up my own Tailwind. I set up my own Trick Room. But what if you thought about speed control and slowing down the opponent, right? So think about it this way. You could use moves like Icy Wind, or you could use moves like Thunder Wave. And so that way, it might give you a little bit more advantage in kind of the flexibility of your speed control. Pokemon that might be great candidates here, Gengar, for instance, is a great user of Icy Wind. Gengar is also super fast, and Gengar actually knows Trick Room as well. So if you're worried about, like, hey, I'm fighting a Trick Room team, I don't want them to set up Trick Room, you could use Trick Room on the same turn you predict them to use Trick Room. Like if Dusclops free Gengar, Gengar used Trick Room first, Dusclops used Trick Room second, and therefore Dusclops' Trick Room is cancelled out. Gengar also has Icy Wind, things like that, and Gengar actually, I think, learns Thunder Wave too, which could be helpful. Alright, so I think that we need a change of course of action here because we are not doing so hot with our team. I actually used this Primarina in my oh, yeah, that's awesome. Oh, to get, I guess the, whatchamacallit, the priority, or not the priority, the critical hit to get your +6. But Icy Wind might be helpful here, in that case, if you're looking at other ways, to use speed control in different ways. But yeah, I think I need to switch into Primarina. This Primarina isn't really optimally built, for sure. It was more for an in-game build, and I did have a perfect IV, just so I could use it. It has Hyper Voice, Moonblast. I taught mine Parasan. It's like as an egg move. But I think I might, instead of Aqua Jet, I'll teach it Energy Ball. I do like the idea of Parasan, actually. But I also, Max Geyser is important to use if I can. Kind of want to use, I want to try out a Primarina. I could also use Jellicent. It's been a while since we used Jellicent, actually. What would Jellicent do? Jellicent has Strength Sap, Energy Ball, Scald, and Shadow Ball, so I could trade one-on-one with opposing Primarinas with Energy Balls. I could switch in on a water attack. Yeah, it's kind of like a... I don't know. I'm trying to think of what other adjustments I could do. I have the Sap Super Moon, Azumarill to flip things upside down with Parasan, but it doesn't really do too much. This Azumarill can also block my own Colossal. I have another Gastrodon. I have my own personal Urshifu that has Surging Strikes. I have another Urshifu with... I haven't EV trained it yet. I do have my other... I have my Azumarill. I have my Grimmsnarl. I got a couple Grimmsnarl sets. But I don't think Grimmsnarl... If I use Grimmsnarl, I'll definitely replace Sneasel. This Grimmsnarl has fake Tears like Screen, Thunder Wave, and Spirit Break. But I'm trying to think, how do I deal with Primarina? Absorbing water attacks isn't enough, because the problem is Primarina has grass attacks too. But the problem with using Sap Sipper Guja is that Primarina also has fairy type attacks. So it makes it pretty tough. I don't know. Dragapult's not allowed. Duraludon has weak special defense is the problem. Or Duraludon would seem pretty good. Togekiss isn't allowed. Whimsicott is not allowed. Yeah, I'm trying to think. How can I... I am not sure. We could go with a whole new team, and the idea behind the team would be just Rain Dance, but the problem here is that, we'll go with that. Use Mantine Politoed. Porygon2's not allowed, but I got other Pokemon I can use for the Eviolite Pokemon. I could do that. Seeking for Lightning Rod support, I can use Marowak for Lightning Rod support. Sableye is also pretty good. Sableye is interesting because we use speed control with weather. Sableye can do a really great job there. Sableye also has Prankster Thunder Wave. I don't know if Sableye can learn Trick Room, but Thunder Wave is definitely helpful here too. Sableye would definitely be a great choice if you're looking for speed control. One thing that you could do, yeah, Quash is, I've used Quash in 2012 actually. I had a Sableye Quash. The reason why I don't use Sableye Quash anymore is just that with Dark types, it's a lot harder. They are immune to your Prankster shenanigans. I actually used Quash Murkrow when it was back before Sableye actually had Quash. Quash is not as common, but I think it is something that you can use. Yeah, you just have to be mindful of Dark types. Luckily, too, with NDD not in the picture, priority stoppage isn't as common, so it definitely is something that you could use in kind of the format here. But yeah, I guess what I might do, I might just pick Primarina. I could build out a Primarina real quick, because I do have a Popplio that has Liquid Voice and it's ready to go, so I could do that with Modest. I'm trying to think, what would I'd probably switch out. Let's be real. I'll probably switch out Colossal. I think the one thing that Primarina would kind of have a problem with is that Gastrodon itself would redirect attacks from it. But the thing here is I wouldn't be a big deal. Because I could use, I mean, I wouldn't be locked out of it. I could use things like Energy Ball or Moon Blast, and I should still be okay. And I can even give Primarina the Life Orb that Colossal has. I think we're going to do that. So what we'll do here, folks, I'll still be available on chat, but I'm just going to take a moment to build this team. It'll probably take me like a few minutes to look up something, and then I'll build it from there. So we'll have a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back afterwards. But yeah, yeah, I mean, hey, sometimes it happens where things don't work out as, I mean, we were doing a lot better last time, but I might just need a couple matches to warm up, and maybe just a change of pace will be exactly what I need to make things work. So let's go ahead and get that commercial bumper here, and I will see you guys in a moment. Hey everybody, we are back. Thank you so much for your patience. We have built the Primarina. As you can see, the Primarina is on the... getting used to the new format there. There it is on the team, as you can see. Yeah, hopefully this will help kind of turn things around. I think that Sneasel will be still helpful with Surf. I can therefore proc my own weakness policy in Volcarona if need be. But also gives me a 100% accurate spread move. I can also boost my own Gastrodon with it. And just overall, it has kind of that mobility there. So excited to see what we can make do with this Primarina, and I'm confident we can make something happen here. So let's just give it a shot and see what happens. Toby weighs in and says, I'm trying to think if my team would insta-lose if I don't get Trick Room up. That's a good question. I think... Not yes and no. I think the main thing to think about here as well is not be as dedicated to one strategy, but more being dedicated to you have different modes that you can play with, and therefore if the opponent does have something that can throw at you, you can kind of mitigate that or deal with it in a different way. And so I don't think that, like for instance, like Whiscash, maybe here's a question to ask: does Whiscash need to outspeed everything, or is Whiscash bulky enough to take hits and then just hits back out? And that can help kind of figure out a way to kind of deal with the opponent even better there in the long run. With that, we're going to actually go into this battle here, and but something to think about. And maybe actually as you watch these battles, maybe an idea comes up of like, hey, this might be a great way to kind of give myself speed control in the way that I might not have thought of. Not just for my teams, but also my opponent's team. We'll be fighting off against Christian, which is funny. That is another streamer, a good friend of mine, and actually somebody I host often. So kind of looking at this, I don't like Volcarona as much actually in this matchup, but I do like I like the idea of I like Primarina, Goodra, Corsola, and Gastrodon the most. I don't think Sneasel, besides fake tier support, provides much offensive pressure that I can use to my advantage. So I feel like in this case, I mean I could technically use it. Yeah, I feel like this fake tier support isn't as vital as flexibility of the team. So I am going to go with Gastrodon, Corsola, Primarina, and Goodra. That way, if Lapras does show up, yeah, I don't really have a way to stop screens. I think that's another thing why the Stoutland is really helpful. Stoutland allows you to use Psychic Fangs, which can break screens. But yeah, I don't... Yeah, I feel like I can hit Lapras in a different way. So I think for now, I'm going to go ahead and not use Sneasel. I'm not sure if I agree with this. So we're going to see Raichu and Diggersby. So I'm not surprised I'm going to see a Fake Out coming out here shortly. And so Primarina and Goodra are sent out here. Against Diggersby, Diggersby probably has like a really strong max moves, especially with Max Strike. So I wouldn't be surprised if Diggersby is going to go all out and try to hit with those. However, Diggersby also has to be mindful that I can just Max Geyser it and get it to a low percentage. So I feel like in this case, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I don't see any reason why not to. And I think here I'm just going to go ahead and hit with... I'm going to use... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get some chip damage here. I'm going to target... You know what? I'm going to feel confident. I'm going to double target into this Diggersby slot. I don't think I have much to lose here. And the opponent is going to go for that Dynamax of their own. So we are probably going to expect this Diggersby to go all out with their Max Strike move here. Probably thinking that I'm going to go ahead and be a little bit more passive with my first turn. But I decided to bite the bullet and go with them. The double target here is the guarantee that in case I go for something like they do have a Focus Sash, I am going to break it. One thing I also need to be mindful of too is that Diggersby could Max Guard, in which case it would waste a full turn. Raichu also has the ability to use Nuzzle, which in the long run would make things a little bit more complicated. But we'll see what we can do to play around with that. We'll make things happen, we'll make things work, you know what I'm saying? So, we are going to see the Thunderbolt just straight go into the Primarina. It does a decent amount of damage here. And Diggersby actually goes to a Max Strike. Ooh, that's not... Okay. It went for the Goodra. Goodra gets knocked out. Wow, just a lot of damage up front. I wonder what item Diggersby is holding. I do get the Max Geyser off, but I don't know if this is enough to knock out here. Hopefully it is. Oh, well, I get the knockout. So I guess what we're doing is Raichu, unfortunately, does not get any damage. I get the crit off, which is helpful. But I think the issue here is that with the lowered speed, Raichu does outspeed naturally. I unfortunately kind of put myself in a weird bind here. Raichu is... Okay, so I reveal the Life Orb. I feel like I'm going to go ahead and go with Gastrodon right now. Let's see what my opponent sends out, because I don't think Primarina needs to use, like, its water-type moves right now. I think I can wait on that a little bit and let Gastrodon use that offensive. We're going to see Urshifu actually come out, and it is the Urshifu Water. So that's actually great for me. I'm going to shut down any Surging Strikes shenanigans. And I could probably hit it with Moonblast later on in the game. I think for now what I want to do... Or, yeah. So I think I actually can't protect here. So I think I'm going to just Max Starfall the Urshifu. And I think I'm going to go ahead and Superpower... I'm going to Scald the Raichu. Because if I can get... Urshifu is most likely going to have Focus Sash, but I feel like what I can do here is Superpower. Or, yeah, I'm not going to be able to knock out this Raichu in one turn. But if I do enough damage, maybe I can maximize my output here. It might be enough. So we are going to get another Thunderbolt. That Thunderbolt's going to hurt. I don't get a Paralysis. I get the Close Combat in the Primarina slot. I survive, which is awesome to see. And I get off a Max Starfall. Nice thing here is that both Pokemon can't have Focus Sash, so only one's going to have it. It's not the Urshifu, so I get to knock out Urshifu pretty early on, which is really helpful. That most likely means Raichu's going to have Focus Sash, which therefore kind of means that I'm going to have... It's basically going to become a Gastrodon versus... Oh, well, I lost with Life Orb anyway, so unfortunate there. I knocked myself out. That's the break sometimes. But I do get this free Earth Power off. So it's a 2v2, but I get a little bit of a damage advantage. Raichu does have that Focus Sash intact here. Raichu hits really hard. I was surprised about that. So now it's Corsola and Gastrodon versus whatever is left of my opponent's team. I'm trying to think what else they would have that would be scary. They send out Lapras. Lapras is kind of scary because Lapras does have the Freeze Dry here. So I think in this case what I want to do is I do want to knock out this Raichu, but I also think that Raichu doesn't really pose much of a threat. So I think I'm going to go ahead and Light Screen right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and Protect to kind of scout out and see, am I dealing with Freeze Dry here? Light Screen will allow me to survive that hit a little bit better. Then I can knock out Raichu the next turn and go from there. So we are going to Protect here and just be a little bit more defensive. We are going to see a Thunderbolt go into the Corsola slot. I take that like a champ. Cursed Body, I disable it. That's even better. We are going to see the Ice Beam go into the Gastrodon slot. So nice to see I don't have to deal with Freeze Dries. And we do set up this Light Screen, so that is going to be super helpful here. I think the main thing here is that I do want to deal with this Raichu now. I am going to go ahead and use this Nightshade, and I'm going to go ahead and just use Earth Power rather on the Lapras slot. So now we can be a little bit more passive, and I can even use Strength Sap on Lapras to gain my HP back as Corsola. One thing I do have to be mindful of, I don't even have to worry about Hydro Cannon or Hydro Pump. Because of, okay, so we're going to get the double up into the Corsola slot. I survive both. I get the Nightshade off into Raichu, which is awesome. Thanks to that Light Screen. Coming in clutch. Corsola, let's go! And here comes the Earth Power. Being able to kind of just do some damage. Hey, and that special defense drop is so helpful here. So yeah, kind of really put in a tough spot here. I am going to go ahead and Strength Sap the Lapras. And I am going to go ahead and use one more Earth Power here into that slot again. And the opponent decides, hey, I'm going to go ahead and call it and forfeit. So, great match there. I think what really worked out well was that trade at the beginning. Just really getting rid of that Diggersby early. Yeah, I think the trouble with their team was because Urshifu's very, especially defensively weak. We were able to exploit that and the fact that Focus Sash was on Raichu. So that was really nice. Gastrodon cleaned up at the end game thanks to his typing, and that Storm Drain really shutting Lapras out of a lot of options there. Corsola just being very bulky and using the Light Screen. I was really worried we had to deal with a Freeze Drive, but I was lucky. I was very fortunate we didn't see that. So great match there. Hey, we got another card burst. That's awesome. Hey, and Primarina, first time it ever battled ever, gets to get a Master Rank. Yeah, so looking at this team, we have this Grimmsnarl here. Grimmsnarl using all of the screens for sure. We have Arcanine here. Arcanine using Intimidate, really supportive with the Heat Wave and Snarls. Lapras with the Weakness Policy. And that was a nice thing too if I didn't have to deal with Weakness Policy. Yeah, Thunder would have been a pretty strong hit, but I mean, Ice Beam hits a little bit harder thanks to Stab. Thank goodness it didn't have Freeze Drive. That was nice to see. Raichu with the Focus Sash, Raichu was surprisingly strong, but I was surprised they went for, that's an odd one of going for Nani, just because Raichu would be better at, yeah, the attack is negligible. But it is nice to see that it was all electric attacks, meaning that at the end game Gastrodon would have won. But yeah, I didn't. It could have had Grass Knot. That would have been a possibility. But it was nice that Gastrodon could handle it. Here's Urshifu with Choice Band, hitting really hard with that close combat. Kind of thinking about it, actually, I was surprised it didn't use Rock Slide. I think Rock Slide would have done maybe a little bit more, maybe not. I think with the Choice Band, that's my choice. Yeah, Max Lightning does catch a lot of people off guard for sure. And it could have been something that Lapras or Raichu could have done. I think Lapras, if it was the one that Gigantamax would have been a lot better. But I think the problem was that he invested too much in the Digger Speed Dynamaxing, which didn't pay off in the long run, unfortunately. Definitely a very strong Pokemon. Assault Vest is interesting on Digger Speed. I might have gone for something more of like, hey, here's Life Orb to just output my damage greatly. But yeah, I think the critical hit was the kind of the factor. I don't know if it would have survived even with the Assault Vest, but that might have been what he was hoping for. I would survive with the Assault Vest, and then the next turn do a lot. But yeah, even despite losing Guja early on, that was helpful. So, yeah, no, oh, Max Lightning on Whiscash. What move does Whiscash know that it would know Max Lightning? I'm trying to think on top of my head. I can't think of one on top of my head, but it might be, could be a good Pokemon to use. For sure. So yeah, that's an interesting choice of using Whiscash for a Max Lightning Pokemon. Spark. Yeah, I guess. I think because you're maxing your Whiscash anyways, it's helpful. Yo, Mirror B! Can we see Ludicolo? Oh, come on! We're fighting Mirror B himself and he's not even using Ludicolo. What madness is that? Funny enough, this team is very, I know about this team because I watched this episode earlier today. This is actually the team that Aaron Zane used in his most recent ranked battles. So I do know the makeup of this team and what the Zoroark tries to do. So I think trying to think about how he plays it, the idea is to utilize Klefki's Metal Sound to lower special defense, and then having Zoroark of one of his special attackers really take advantage of that. You would expect it to come from the Dragonzolt, but it's actually Zoroark. So I think in this case, the best way to play around this would be to call out that his Zoroark is the Dragonzolt. And so what I want to do is lead off with Sneasel Volcarona to knock out the Zoroark, and then from there, kind of slow things down at the end. I think Gastrodon is helpful-ish. Primarina does kind of prove a threat against the Gastrodon, so I think what I want to do is Gastrodon Guja. But Guja also proves a weakness against Primarina. Yeah, I think Guja, because if I Dynamax Guja, then it's easier. So I'm okay with that. So I am going to try to do this where I slow down. Basically, I'm going to call out that you're gonna pull off this like insane like, oh hey, I'm actually Zoroark deal, and I'm going to call that out. So we do see the Klefki and Primarina actually versus the Sneasel and Volcarona. So I could call you out that you're Zoroark in the Primarina slot. And if so, then I would do a lot of damage. If I don't call it right, then I'm going to lose. Fortune favors the bold. I say we call it out. Let's go ahead and use this Icy Wind here. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Bug Buzz on that slot. I could be 100% wrong. But, you know, why not? Klefki does set up Light Screen here. And so Light Screen will help kind of slow down any of my special assaults here. I do get off the Icy Wind. The Icy Wind is going to help slow things down just a tad. Not effective on either, so unfortunate there. It is actually a Primarina and not a Zoroark, so I misinterpreted this greatly, but hey, you know what, it happens. I think a better way I could have played that, though, would have been using Icy Wind anyways, because then I would have figured it out. Well, luckily here I do get the weakness policy activated, and I take that hit pretty well. So I think in this case I might just target this Primarina slot, and I think I'm going to go for Hurricane, and let's see how much damage I can output here. I do know that I am slower. The opponent is slower, so that can be helpful. The only thing that Klefki can do here would be to use Thunder Wave. It could also try to use Dazzling Gleam, and in which case, for sure, Volcarona is going to... they both will be knocked out, but I'll be able to do decent damage here. So we are going to see the Thunder Wave, which was expected. The lowered speed from Primarina, I might still outspeed it though, so we'll see. I get off of Fake Tears. Primarina's special defense is now at -3. With Light Screen up, it's going to be a little bit bulkier. I do get off a Hurricane. I am able to connect. Let's see if I'm able to knock out. No, unfortunately not. I will lose both of them here. But, oh, I actually survived with Sneasel, which is interesting. So that is an interesting development. And now we get to go with, I think Goodra might be a good choice here. I think what I want to do is start setting up my special attack and just wailing on the opponent. Primarina doesn't really seem to be a threat here, but what I can do is I can Fake Tears the Klefki, go ahead and use Max Ooze to boost up my special attack, and let's just keep on going. The opponent does not have a Steel-type Pokemon, so even if they switch into something that could take the hit better, it won't make a difference in the long run. But the nice thing here as well is that Primarina is pretty much lowered, making it easier for both Gastrodon and Goodra in the long run to win this. So I wouldn't say that I am in a good spot, but I do see my end game. Alrighty, so here we go. We are going to go ahead and Dynamax here, and I am curious to see if this will be enough to go ahead and be able to do some work here. Toby talking about Scizor on his team. Yeah, no, Scizor is really great. I think Scizor also works as kind of a nice speed control in the sense of being able to really lower your opponent's ability to, I mean, with Bullet Punch especially, that's such a great move. So we are able to get this Max Ooze off into the Primarina slot, which is very nice. That allows me to get a special attack boost, and I do get to start my Rampage here shortly. Primarina is knocked out here, and we are going to see the Dazzling Gleam. That will be enough to knock out Sneasel, but does give my Goodra another chance later down the line to really kind of wreak havoc against this Klefki, if I so see that this Klefki is going to be a bigger threat. Another thing to be mindful of as well is that the opponent could have Dragonzolt in the back, which would be a great option for Dynamax. Dragonzolt will probably go into Max Wormwind against my own Goodra. We're actually going to see Noivern, so Noivern is probably going to set up Tailwind. Noivern, I do know for a fact, is Focus Sash on this team, so I think in this case I am going to go ahead and just hit this Noivern with Scald, and then I am going to go ahead and hit it with Max Wormwind just to get this knockout, and then the final turn, knocking out the Klefki, and then trying to survive. Oh, it depends. I think that Tailwind is going to go up, which the opponent might win this one. Because if Tailwind goes up, then for sure Dragonzolt is going to outspeed. And as long... Well, no, not necessarily, because then I would have to target down Dragonzolt. Because Gastrodon can actually help deal with Klefki at the end. I think Klefki... Hey, take it easy, Toby. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love hearing about your team. And I can't wait to see what you bring next with them. But yeah, keep me updated for sure. We actually get lucky, and Noivern is going to Dynamax here. That is great to see, because Noivern will probably hit with this Max Dragon, but luckily since Goodra is pretty bulky here, Can take one from Noivern and probably dish one out back. We are going to see a Metal Sound, though. That's going to be a little bit problematic here. But I'm hopeful that we can at least survive one Max Wormwind with the Assault Vest. Maybe it's enough. Are we going to see it? Yes, we survive it because Goodra is a champ, and we are going to punish right back. Thank goodness for Goodra's Assault Vest coming in clutch here, making this work. Goodra is going to get with that Max Wormwind. Even if I had to deal with the Focus Sash, I'm going to target it down. Unfortunately, not enough to get that knockout here. It is super effective. We do get the attack drop from Klefki and Noivern. And we are going to try to aim for the Scald. It's not going to be enough, but maybe we get a burn? No, not enough. I think what I want to do here is I want to Steel Scald. I unfortunately can't protect, so I will have to go for one more Max Wormwind. I could set up Max Flare. No, that's not helpful. I could do Max Ooze. I think that Max Ooze would be helpful to give a special attack boost to Gastrodon for sure. So we'll have to see what happens. Goodra, unfortunately, will have to go down because I can't Max Guard here. But yeah. Maybe the opponent will read into that overly and to be like, hey, I'm going to Metal Sound your Gastrodon, and I'm going to aim for the Gastrodon slot. In which case, we'll knock out Noivern, and then we can Flamethrower. Noivern actually Max Guards here. We are going to see the Metal Sound, so great call out from the opponent of saying I'm going to try to set up these KOs later down the line. We unfortunately don't get that last Max Ooze, which would have been very nice. We do miss the Scald as well. Calling out the Noivern. I think they wanted to get that guarantee. I don't know, Toby. Just as long as, pretty much as long as I got time. I'm just playing for the heck of it. I might grab dinner in a little bit. I haven't eaten. It is 7 o'clock, so I need to make something. But yeah, man, we are not winning at all today. But we are having fun. I think that's the most important part here. So I don't really have an end time here, Toby. But hey, if you need to head to sleep, no pressure. You don't need to stick around. Definitely hang out. My streams are more of like, just hang out as long as you want. Feel free to drop in and drop out whenever. So no pressure. I don't really have an end time for sure. But hopefully we can get a couple wins and then we'll call it a day. But also, it's great catching up with you, man. And also, thank you so much for the follow. Did see that in my activity feed. I just want to share appreciation for that. It does mean a lot. So we are going to get this Thunder Wave into the Goodra slot. That's probably going to be game here, because I just need a Max Wormwind. You just need one Max Wormwind. If you hit one Draco Meteor, that's pretty much set. My attack alone doesn't mean anything. Gastrodon is out. I could have protected there, but yeah, I mean, I can knock out the Noivern, but at what cost? I got 2 Pokemon I got to deal with. The Thunder Wave allows his next Pokemon to deal with it. What is up, Kitten Fans? How's it going? Great to see ya. If you are just tuning in, we've been losing a lot. We did adjust the team a little bit, as you can see. We actually have a Primarina now. Oh, and it's Dragonzolt at the end. Lovely. So, Dragonzolt and Klefki, there is no way I can win this. Dragonzolt can just Dragon Claw. Klefki can use well, how long the season end? Oh, I'm so sorry. I read that a session. The season actually, I think, goes all the way through October. So the season will go through October for that team. Hey, no worries. Thanks for tuning in. So that might be a great call out, Toby. I think that if you're thinking about waiting till the season ends, October, because then after Crown Tundra comes out in late October, then they're going to have the next battle there. So, might be something to think about there. Kitten Fanes, great to see you. Unfortunately, yeah, we've been losing. I don't know, I guess my head's not in the game here. We won one battle, but I think the problem, and we lost against the Aaron Zane team. I remember running into that a couple times, but we just got to figure out, we just got to get our head in the game. Let's figure it out, let's make it work. So, alright, in this battle, we got Decidueye, we got Amoonguss, we got Urshifu, Raichu, Drifblim, and Arcanine. It is interesting to see Drifblim, as there are no automatic terrain setters. Yeah, so that is Dragonzolt. And so the idea behind Dragonzolt is it's a fossil Pokemon that's supposed to be a parody on, back when the British first got into paleontology, they would glue random bones together and be like, this is an ancient creature. So it's supposed to be like that. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate the support in the chat. We're going to figure it out. We'll make that win happen. But also, too, like, sometimes you got to lose before you win. You know what I'm saying? So, I think with Raichu, the one thing I am worried about is the Nuzzle threat, which would not be great against Volcarona. I do like Gastrodon against Raichu. I think once I figure out how to deal with Decidueye, the rest kind of falls into play. So I think I'm going to go ahead with Sneasel and Goodra, just to make it a little bit easier for me to figure out this matchup. And then from there, go from Raichu and I think Primarina. Yeah, I think Primarina offers a lot of offensive pressure here. And it might just be that I just need to have Goodra as a buffer, make it really hard for my opponent to break through my team, and then kind of clean up at the end. And I think that will be helpful in the long run. I think that's what I've been rushing into the offense very much into these streams. And that's been a little bit problematic here. So let's figure it out. Let's make it work. So we're going to have Raichu and Drifblim season. Oh, nice. Yeah, I recommend building it now for sure. I mean, hey, it doesn't matter when you build it. I always recommend building out a team. It's always fun. So, interesting enough, we actually see Drifblim out now. So, I would imagine Drifblim might set up Tailwind. In which case, I kind of want to set... Can Sneasel outspeed Drifblim? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and taunt it. And then I think here, I'm just going to go ahead and hit this. I'm going to taunt it, and I'm just going to hit with a Thunderbolt. Oh, duh! I'm an idiot! Why would I do that? Because Raichu has Lightning Rod. I just ran into that. Oh my goodness, I am such a dum-dum. I am big dum-dum. Here comes Drifblim with that Dynamax, which is terrible for me, because I taunted it, which means nothing. And I think we're going to run into Axe Airstreams. Oh my gosh, what is happening, guys? I can't believe this. I am making all the dum-dum plays here. We're going to see the Brutal... Ah! That... Smart. Okay. Yeah, that's dum-dum on me. Brutal Swing allows it to pop its own weakness policy. It also becomes super fast and outspeeds everything. And now here, I'm going to eat full max Airstreams. Sneasel's gone. And I gave Raichu a free special defense, special attack boost. So, yeah, that's an awesome team. I love this. I love this dynamic. I love the Brutal Swing dynamic. I thought that was really cool. Wow, I'm an idiot, though. Oh, my gosh. It happens. Sometimes you forget the mechanics, and you just run into that. I literally saw that as soon as I clicked that button. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do from here. Goodra, Drifblim, yeah, there you go. We gotta stay positive. We gotta go upwards. We can make this happen. We'll figure it out. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna turn this into a learning moment. And the big learning moment here was it was really cool to see kind of what Drifblim could do. I think what Drifblim is going to be physically based. It might be acrobatics or something else that move is. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Dragon Pulse. Or, you know what, I think I'm going to just knock out this Raichu. I'm curious to see more of this Drifblim. I actually might make this team. This is really cool. Cool. They're going to probably call me out here. Decidueye comes out. Not the end of the world. We are going to see the Max Phantasm, which actually is going to hurt. Oh, wow. I just lost Gastrodon. Wow. That was impressive. Probably Max Phantom. That's really cool. I like this a lot. I hope the opponent lets me see this team, because I really want to see it. And Decidueye's out. Decidueye barely takes any damage. But yeah. Goodra hasn't really taken much, so I really can... I got an option of Dynamax in a few Pokemon here. So we could do have Primarina. Primarina's not going to be able to do too much here. I could try to hit this... I think what I want to do here is... I kind of want to use Primarina. I kind of want to use Moonblast. I kind of want to hit this Decidueye. I kind of want to Dynamax here. I kind of want to hit Max Wormwind. And I also want to hit this Decidueye. And so the idea behind this is just to... There you go. That's right. True Pokemasters are always learning. Exactly what, you know, and a lot of people in the chat, especially with Toby. Toby was, you know, sharing his team, and it was awesome to see kind of the Whiscash idea and how to work with it. And I think just having these conversations is very important. And that's the thing, too. Even when we're losing, we got to have these conversations. What can we learn to adapt and make work? I'm actually really, I hope. And in fact, y'all, Kitten Fanes and Nuon Gamer are huge fans of the Fast Dino. Look at that. We took that like a champ. Okay, maybe we can make this work. We can make this work. But yeah, Kitten Fanes and Nuon Gamer were huge fans of the Dino, the Fast Dino coming up. Oh, thank goodness. I called this out. I'm going to knock out the Decidueye. Maybe we can make this work. But I learned about max speed Tyranitar from a match I lost. I was like, that was so cool. And so by learning about that, I decided, hey, I'm going to build that. And it worked out in my favor. So luckily we were able to hit this Decidueye pretty hard. And we're going to knock it out with this Moonblast. So I am glad to see this. This is awesome. We are able to get this 1 KO. And because Drifblim was no longer in Dynamax, that can be helpful in dealing off a significant amount of damage to this Drifblim. Maybe we can kind of slow down the offensive pressure. Probably Raichu's going to come back here. So that does prove a little bit of a threat. Yeah, max speed Tyranitar hype. Unfortunately, we can't use it in this season because Tyranitar is banned, unfortunately. But I am looking forward to using it eventually. The Raichu does prove to be a threat. But I feel like at this point, I am going to go ahead and use Hyper Voice. And I am going to go ahead and use this Max... I'm going to use Max Wormwind again. I think just hitting off with huge damage is going to be helpful. I could have targeted the Drifblim slot. Drifblim is going to protect here. So, totally understandable. Trying to stall out kind of the turns of Dynamax. But hopefully with this Max Wormwind, if this Drifblim is physically based, I will actually make it easier to deal with. Drifblim's attacks aren't going to be as strong. Acrobatics will still hit, but it is going to be at that -1 now. Or that 0 neutral attack now, so it won't hit as hard. Primarina unfortunately flinches. Not much I can do there. But I think now I'm in a good spot to go ahead and hit this Max Wormwind into the Raichu slot and hopefully knock this bad boy out. And if we can get 2 knockouts here, that will be helpful in the long run. So hopefully we can try to make this happen. But we'll have to see. Maybe Raichu doesn't have a strong Thunderbolt to use. The last one I did fight did have one. So we are going to see Shadow Ball, so it is actually specially based. I should be able to take special attacks. Okay, a lot better. Raichu does use Volt Tackle, so Raichu is actually physically based. That is enough to knock out Primarina, but luckily here that Raichu is use that recoil. For sure the Max Wormwind is enough to knock out Raichu. So while unfortunately I won't be able to reduce Drifblim's attack, special attack, thanks to how powerful the Shadow Ball is, I was able to get a decent amount of damage, able to bring it to a 2-1 situation. Hopefully the Assault Vest might be enough to deal with damage. Yeah, that Shadow Ball did hurt for sure. Urshifu as well is going to be a little bit harder. Urshifu is known as a physical hitter, and it does kind of draw my attention to hitting this Urshifu. I have to survive a total of 3 turns and 3 onslaughts here, so I think what I want to do here is to use Dragon Pulse on the Drifblim slot. Hopefully that might be enough to knock it out, but if I don't get a knockout, I'm probably going to lose here. But yeah, it was really cool to see that. I think hitting the turn 1 waste for sure hurt a lot, but it was cool to see the Brutal Swing combo coming out. We are going to see the Shadow Ball hit one more time. Shadow Ball, I take it a little bit better than Primarina, but the special defense drop hurts. We're going to see this close combat, and that might be enough to call it. And there it is. So, great overall. I think that the opponent did a great job of saying, like, hey, look, Drifblim can put up a lot of damage early on, has a lot of great special attacks, and the combination of Weakness Policy and Brutal Swing and Breaking Sashes really came out strong. That's pretty much how the Colossal moveset kind of works as well. So it was awesome to see that. I like that a lot. But come on, can you... Dang it, they didn't let me see the team. But I think I have an idea of how that kind of worked. And so, yeah, something to think about, too. We can actually incorporate that in teams going forward. So, good to learn from that. Bummed I didn't get to see the team, but hey, it happens. Alright, so we're going to be facing off against Meg, and hopefully we can get a win here. Meg actually plays a pretty interesting Trick Room team. And so, I think with this, and Trick Room has been really helpful with both Corsola and Gastrodon. And I think, too, if I bring in Volcarona, I can kind of bait some things of like, hey, you're going to go ahead and use Max Water against me. And that can hurt well. I think one thing I do need to be mindful of is that Appleton is here, and Appleton is going to definitely prey on the team of like, hey, I can actually take advantage of that and try to hit Gastrodon. So I don't think I want to use Sneasel, but rather just play for the Trick Room potential, going with Primarina and Volcarona, and then having Corsola and Gastrodon in the back. Depending on what my opponent brings out, switching out where appropriate, or bringing things in. I think with Primarina and Volcarona, they both threaten out Appleton well with Bug Buzz and Moonblast, and so that can be helpful in the long run of once I get rid of Appleton, making it easier for my team overall. So we are going to see what the opponent is going to bring out first, and ooh, I like the gloves. Yo, shout out to Meg. She is looking fresh, let me tell you. And so we have Primarina and Volcarona here. Perfect. Appleton is in the mix. I am looking forward to that. And I'm just going to go ahead and double up in this Appleton slot. I could be risking a Protect here, but you know what? I think that that's going to be my best play. If the Appleton switches out, then I'm going to be hitting whatever switches in decently well. Appleton does go for Protect, which was expected. That's fair. And I am going to be running into that spot, of course. It didn't make sense. I didn't have anything else really to switch into it. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see Trick Room come up. Yep, that is fair. That is fair. We are not. Enemy Goo Pokemon has appeared. We've just not been thinking smart here. I think right now, actually, I feel confident with just max Starfalling this Appleton. And then going ahead and using this Bug Buzz as well. Just doubling up in the slot. We know that Appleton can't Protect again. And most likely, it's going to Dynamax here. It probably is going to try the Max Overgrowth on the Primarina slot. And if I'm Dynamax to meet that, I could probably survive. Actually, don't see a Dynamax here, which is very interesting. Yeah, Goo DNA Bear. We will be able to knock it out later. I think the main thing here is let's try to deny as many turns of successful Trick Room as possible. And I think if we can do that, we can make things happen and make it work. Let's see what's going to happen here. We are going to see Appleton use Apple Acid. That kind of hurts because I think I lower my special defense just normally. Okay, and we are going to see Ranunculus use Light Screen. So trying to defend itself against any special attacks here. But I think the combination here is going to hurt. Like, it's going to hurt a lot. But I'll play the long game here. We are able to knock out Appleton, which is great. We got rid of the gooey DNA Bear. Critical hit on top of that, which is awesome to see. Misty Terrain does prove some complications. The main complication here with Misty Terrain is that it doesn't allow my opponent to be affected by status, which is something I do want to do with the eventual Rhyperior that might come out. Wow, we do a lot of damage and lower Ranunculus' special attack defense. So, while the opponent does have Trick Room up, we have exerted a lot of offensive pressure. The opponent can still Dynamax though, and I think the main thing here... Oh, Toxtricity is perfect. I don't care about Toxtricity. It is actually faster than Primarina outside of Dynamax, I believe, outside of Trick Room, I believe. So I could probably get a Max Geyser off here, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and use a... I think I'm going to go with Heat Wave. That hit... Oh, no, because Max Geyser. Yeah, I'm going to go with Bug Buzz here, and I'm going to hit Ranunculus with that, getting that out of the way. Primarina is going strong, absolutely. And we do see the Toxtricity Dynamax here. Toxtricity is an interesting Pokemon because it's naturally slower, but I don't know if it's max speed, like slow. So we'll have to see if this is the case. Toxtricity can also set up things like Max Ooze to boost up his special attack. So we are going to see the Shark Shock. That is going to do a decent amount of damage, especially with that low special defense. And I actually get to go first, so we are going to fire off this really strong Max Geyser. Max Geyser is going to do a considerable amount of damage to this Toxtricity. And now Toxtricity has to make a choice. Do I knock out this Primarina or do I knock out the Volcarona? If it decides to knock out the Primarina, that's totally fine. We are going to see the VG Max Stun Shock. Stun Shock is going to go after Volcarona. Volcarona takes that really well. That's awesome to see. And I don't get poisoned, and I get to hit off with this Bug Buzz. Let's go, Primarina! We're making that work. We are, yeah, that's right, it's Thundertoad. Man, we got the weird Trick Room team here. We got Thundertoad, we got Goo DNA Bear, we got Apple Pie Dragon, and now we got the final Pokemon coming out. And wow, even in Trick Room, we have been able to say, you know what, we got what we need to make this work. And we have Chandelure as the last Pokemon here. Chandelure actually proves the least threatening to my team. I feel like I want to go for one more Max Geyser into the Toxtricity slot. But if if Toxtricity decides to protect, I still want to hit the Chandelure with this Hurricane. We are going to see the Max Geyser. I do get to go off and hit this Thunder Toad, and Thunder Toad is going to get knocked out here. Thanks to the Trick Room actually letting my Primarina outspeed it. And there we go, Primarina going strong. We got that win. We're making it happen. And it's just Chandelure versus the world, and really it's going to have a hard time here. Chandelure is going to hit with that Shadow Ball, but it's a little bit too late here because Volcarona might be knocked out, but I get so many turns of Trick Room up, and Chandelure does lose HP thanks to the Life Orb. I think what I want to do is go for my own Corsola here, send up my own Light Screen, and then going with the... I could go with Hydro Cannon and just really guarantee the knockout here. So, Primarina is going to go ahead and undynamax itself, and we're just going to finish this strong. I know for a fact I underspeed Chandelure. Does Hydro Cannon have a 90 accuracy? Nah, I just need Hyper Voice then, especially in the rain. I'm going to set up Light Screen here. So I think it's pretty much checkmate, but the opponent will let us play this one out, which I appreciate. We do get the Light Screen up, and I get my own Hyper Voice, which is going to be super effective, and that's enough to knock it out. And there we go. Hype! We got that win! Shout out to Primarina, and the weird speed tiers that the opponent kind of played out with. So, awesome job. I also had Gastrodon in the back in case anything funky happened, and I'm glad I did. The Light Screen was helpful, but it just wasn't as bulky enough for it to survive my attacks, which was super helpful in the long run. Yeah, so we're going to get some calcium. Woo! Got some calcium. Milk is always important, folks. And with that, I actually, that's a great reminder. I do need to get some water to drink, stay hydrated. So I will take a small commercial break, but I am glad to see that we got that victory here. Let's go ahead and take a break on a high note. So I'll see you guys in a quick moment. What is up, guys? We are back. Thank you so much for your patience as I took that quick break. We got some water. Always important to stay hydrated. I think that's also going to help us out too. And yeah, let's check out the last team. Let's see what they were packing. So they had a Wacronid. A Wacronid I felt confident in dealing with, especially with the Max Geyser to fire off. As well as I could probably use some, lower the... Oh, it can't even get burned. Ooh, that would have been tricky. But Strength Step would have helped here. Yeah, this is very common to Arachnonids I've dealt with in Sun and Moon. It had a Rhyperior. Yeah, I expected as much. It was nice to see that Rhyperior actually wasn't weakness policy. That would have been interesting to face this if it wasn't weakness policy and the ability was Assault Vest instead, or the item was Assault Vest instead. Lightning Rod is interesting as well. Solid Rock allows you to take hits better. I think that was a good call out against the metagame. I might have not... Yeah, Hydro Homies! Absolutely! Yo, we gotta stay hydrated, just like Primarina. I think Rhyperior would have been interesting to have dealt with, because I probably wouldn't have slammed it with a water attack immediately because of the fear of weakness policy. Yeah, we had Ranunculus, and Ranunculus setting up the Ice Shock, setting up the Trick Room, setting up the Light Screen. Definitely would have been tricky in the long run, but I got lucky with the hits that I was able to do. Focus Sash didn't really come into play there. Yeah, Chandelure with the Life Orb. It also had Trick Room as well, but I pretty much had great coverage on that. Because Trick Room was still up, Gastrodon would have outsped. Energy Ball would have been very deadly to deal with, though. So I am glad I didn't have to deal with it in the long run. And Toxtricity just went straight for the Dynamax. I honestly think that Chandelure would have been a better candidate there. But yeah, luckily we got lucky. The Stun Strike did not do anything for us, for them. We were able to really capitalize on that as well. So that was nice on our end to really make that work. And Appleton, the final Pokemon in this puzzle, I was really worried about what Appleton could have done, but yeah, especially the Apple Acid. So it guarantees low special defense, which is nice, as opposed to Energy Ball where you have a chance to. But yeah, no, I was very fortunate that it wasn't as detrimental as it could have been. So yeah, great match overall, and I'm excited to see what is up next. So let's see who we're going to be facing off against. Got that ranking a little bit higher. That's good to see. Staying hydrated for our Hydro homies. Shout out to Primarina and Gastrodon. And Goodra. Goodra actually evolves whenever it's raining. And Volcarona actually works well in the rain too. So, and yeah, it's the Hydro homies. We gotta stay hydrated. Alright, wow, this is a very interesting team. We have Abomasnow, Mudsdale, Klinklang, Dedenne, Urshifu, and Arcanine. Thinking about this team seems more physically based on the surface level, with Dedenne adding much of the support here. I kind of feel like what I want to do is have Corsola help kind of mitigate most of the damage that might happen. I also don't like the fact that I'm dealing with Abomasnow. Abomasnow can help really punish Gastrodon and Primarina hard. And also kind of push the number on Goodra. So Abomasnow seems to be a pretty logical choice that my opponent might use. But I think what I want to be mindful of is how does Abomasnow attack my team. I could probably use Volcarona to deal with that. So I kind of like the idea of... I kind of like Sneasel as well. I think Sneasel can help set things up in the long run. So I feel like I like Sneasel Volcarona. I'm trying to think. Who do I like? I definitely like Corsola for sure. But do I want Gastrodon, Goodra, or Primarina to be my endgame? I think Gastrodon actually helps deal with Klinklang a little bit better. So I might go with Gastrodon, and also Dedenne, and also Mudsdale. So I think I'll go with Gastrodon. I think the main thing here is once I get rid of Abomasnow, I think I'm set for the game, and I should be okay. And I don't probably even need a Dynamax Volcarona for that. I think a combination of Fake Tears and just Fiery Dance should be enough, and just in case Abomasnow has like a Oka Berry or some crazy shenanigan like that. So the opponent is going to start off with their Dedenne and Klinklang, while I'm going to lead Sneasel and Volcarona. So I think in this case, oh shoot, does Klinklang... I need to look up something. I know this is... Does Klinklang know Clear Body? Because if so, then we're in trouble. It knows minus and plus. Okay, so what Klinklang is trying to do here is trying to boost up its power with Dedenne on its side. So I think in this case, I'm just gonna... Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who do I have in the back? Yeah, I feel like I'm just gonna go ahead and let's just start the Dynamax craziness now. I'm gonna go with Max Flare and Fake Tears. And hopefully with this, I should be able to knock out Klinklang. Next turn, start doing damage on the other Pokemon. And then finally go from there. Because Dedenne can only use Nuzzle. And it can't fake out my Sneasel. I'm free to fake out from Volcarona. I haven't really faced Dedenne as often. Okay, so we are going to see the Dynamax here. So hopeful that I can use this to my advantage and knock out this Klinklang like right now. Wait, what? Yo, what is this madness? It's Dedenne that's Dynamaxing. Whoa, that is unexpected. I don't know what to expect here. I really don't. Oh my gosh. Like, what would Dedenne do as a Dynamax Pokemon? Max Berry. I mean, yeah, I'm ranking my brain. The only thing I can think, I don't think it knows any rock moves. Whoa, what is this team? I'm really excited to see this. Yeah, it is cute too. Like, you're talking like the biggest, chubbiest mouse. And it's Dynamax. Oh my gosh. So here we are. We're going to Fake Tears here. And we are going to see the Max Starfall into the Sneasel slot. I'm actually okay with that. I think that's a great first turn because that means that Sneasel gets to survive one turn. I get a critical hit there, but not a big deal because I get that Focus Sash. And I am able to knock out this Klinklang if it's not Focus Sash. So that's actually going to be really helpful in the long run. That means Dedenne is probably physical fit. Dedenne has a Life Orb. That's super helpful to note. I am going to get this Max Flare off. Maybe it's Focus Sash. Nope, not Focus Sash at all. Awesome. Great to see that. That means Klinklang's knocked out. I get a knockout. And the opponent was Air Balloon. That was great to know too. Did it reveal the Air Balloon? I don't remember seeing that text. Usually it says it's floating on this Air Balloon. So I am glad I knocked it out and not having to deal with it in the long run. Alright, so we are going to see Urshifu. And it's the Water Urshifu here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to Icy Wind here to break any Focus Sash. And, oh, you know what? Even better. I'm going to go ahead and use Surf. because then I pop them from my own weakness policy, and then from there I'm just going to go ahead and hit this max airstream button into the Urshifu slot. Sneasel is probably going to get knocked out anyways. Urshifu actually outspeeds thanks to that focus sash, choice scarf, which is helpful to note. But I am going to luckily get this weakness policy. Sneasel is going to get knocked out, unfortunately. I'm curious to see what Dedenne is going to do. We are going to see a max lightning, actually. That might actually do decent damage. Volcarona is knocked out, too. Ooh, that's going to be tricky. That is going to be tricky. How's Dedenne that strong, though? I guess because of the max moves. Yeah, right. That was a smart call with the Rock Slide, yeah, and Life Orb. This is a really interesting team. Gosh, I have no idea what I'm up against. Alright, so we are going to have Corsola come in here. With Urshifu being locked into Rock Slide, I feel like it's not wanting to stay here. So I feel like in this case, what I want to do here is Will-O-Wisp to Dedenne. And then I am going to go ahead and use Skull. Yeah, I'm going to Earth Power the Urshifu slot. This is probably just going to want to switch out. Nope, it decides to just stay in. Okay, so Urshifu is going to switch in, stay in. If I Curse Body it, then we're going to be in a great spot here. I don't Curse Body. I have to deal with the Max Lightning in the Corsola slot. Not ideal. That was a lot of damage. I get the Will-O-Wisp off, so that's nice. I get to burn this Dedenne longer. But I do want to get this Gastrodon flinches. Unfortunate there. I do want to get the Strength Sap coming in soon. Dedenne did a lot of work, which is surprisingly really impressive. I thought that was really cool to see. So we'll have to see if we can play around that. But yeah, Corsola took a lot of damage here. And so hopefully we can kind of deal with that in the long run. So I am going to go ahead and use Strength Sap on the Dedenne slot. And I am just going to Earth Power the Urshifu slot. Urshifu probably is going to want to switch out. Actually, Rock Slides again. Corsola avoids it, which is nice to see. Gastrodon is going to take some damage here. Not too much. We are going to see Rising Voltage. Oh my goodness, that's going to hurt. And that's enough to knock out Corsola. Unfortunately, Corsola is knocked out. That was really cool to see Rising Voltage. It's a very rare move indeed. So it's nice to see that. I am going to get off this Earth Power, which is helpful. Not enough to knock out this Urshifu, unfortunately, but the lowered special defense will be nice. Gastrodon is going to heal up any damage from that Rock Slide with the leftovers. But I think at this point, since Dedenne is both burned and also... Is it specially based? I forget if Rising Voltage is specially based. But the fact that Dedenne is burned, it might not be doing as much damage. And Urshifu probably doesn't want to stay in for too long. Yeah, that's what I figured. So it is going to get that free switch in. Well, maybe not free switch in. But Abomasnow is sent out. And that's pretty much game, set, and match. That was the one thing I did not want to see. And because Gastrodon is very weak against grass attacks, I really have no way to deal with it. I get an ally switch, which is an interesting play. But the idea behind this is Dedenne has already done its job. And so knocking out Dedenne means that I'm guaranteed to lose because I can't deal with Urshifu and Abomasnow at the same time. And so that was kind of to cover all bases there. So, great play from the opponent. Yeah, it's pretty much game, set, and match. I really can't do anything. And feeling a little bit dejected, but you know what? We're going to learn and we're going to grow. I think the challenge here was definitely just... Yeah, I mean... I never saw that before, so that was really interesting. I honestly have no idea what Dedenne could do, so... really cool to see that, and props to the opponent for thinking outside the box with that. I like seeing that. I hope they... Can I see your team? I want to see your team. I just want to see what you were... Oh, come on. That was a bummer. It's nice to be able to see what the opponent does, and I let them see my team for sure. But yeah, Rising Voltage, I think it's physical. Okay, so we have another battle. I'm going to pull up the Rising Voltage real quick. No, especially based. Ah, dang it. Yeah, I called that wrong then. I honestly had no idea what Dedenne could do. Okay, so we have a very interesting team. A lot of screen support, a lot of fast Pokemon Tailwind support, a huge weakness against Ice. But I don't really have any Ice attacks, but I do have fairy attacks, which also have a huge weakness here. Does give Primarina a good opportunity to really wreck shop. So I do like the idea of Primarina. I think it's more of like, how do I make sure Primarina does her job well? Gastrodon can also support Primarina in the long run. I think it's... And then Corsola... Yeah, I feel like what I want to do here is I do want to lead... I want Primarina and then maybe lead off with Sneasel in Primarina to kind of set things up, and then have Volcarona and Gastrodon in the back. And depending on what the opponent does, kind of adjust from there. I think the hard thing about this team right now is that there isn't really true any synergy, and so it's harder to be like, oh, if this happens, I do this, if this happens, I do this. So I don't have as many options, and a lot of the times, the opponent puts me in a checkmate situation where it's like, well, with Abomasnow, I really can't do much, like from the last battle. So trying to really figure that out. It was easier to do in the Players' Cup, but I think this format has been a lot harder. So we're actually going to see Toxtricity and Grimmsnarl versus Primarina and Sneasel. So I think what I want to do here is not... Well, I might be able to hit Toxtricity pretty hard. So I am going to go with Hyper Voice, and then I am going to go with Taunt on the Grimmsnarl slot. Luckily with Taunt, I actually get to underspeed, so so we are going to see the switch out. The switch out is going to be into the Hatterene slot. I do get a Taunt into the Hatterene, but Hatterene magic bounces that back. So I get to deal with the Taunt. Not as big of a deal. I still have Icy Wind, I have other things I can work with. And I will be taking a pretty strong Overdrive, which is going to hurt. Ooh, that did a lot of damage. I will get off this Hyper Voice, which is helpful, but not enough to do what I want it to do. So Primarina is pretty much knocked out here. I could switch out Primarina, and I might do that with Gastrodon. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use Surf. So the reason I'm going to do this is just to get some small chip damage, saving Primarina for later. Maybe if I can use Primarina for fodder. But also, like, if the opponent sets up Trick Room, I actually can target the Toxtricity slot and make it easier for me to deal with it in the long run. So we are going to switch out. I am going to bring in Gastrodon here. Absorbing and Overdrive. Surf isn't going to do too much. Allows me to give Gastrodon a +1, as well as go ahead and just hit the Toxtricity and Hatterene for no damage, really, but just to hit him. Gastrodon avoids the hit. I get to survive this Overdrive. Sneasel gets to survive, and most likely we're going to see a Trick Room come up. No, we would just see a Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam does hit decently hard. I get to recover thanks to the leftovers. Looking at the speed order, I wish Trick Room did come up. That way Primarina would have... I think Primarina doesn't... Yeah, undersped. So that would have been nice to have oversped there. But anyways, I think Gastrodon's going to Earth Power. I don't have Protect, which is a bad thing here. So Primarina has to get knocked out. We're going to see this Overdrive. It will be enough to knock out the Primarina, but I will get this Earth Power off. The Earth Power will be enough to knock out the Toxtricity, but the problem is... Oh. Ugh. That's just great. I think it's pretty much game, set, and match here. Wow, I walked into this one. I don't know what's happening today, folks. We have lost. We literally won 2 battles today, and we've been playing for a while too. So, man, I'm just not feeling it. I don't know. I think it's just I'm not comfortable with this team. I haven't been able to make it work. There's just a lot of things going on with it. So, I think in this case, I don't know who I need to target. I think I just want to target the Hatterene in case it tries to do something like, hey, I want to Dynamax or something like that, or discourage any like Trick Room shenanigans. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of put in a standstill here. It's Volcarona versus the world, and Volcarona is just not going to be able to do too much. I respect that Hatterene switch. I thought that was really cool. Really great job in calling out the taunt that was coming out. But yeah, I think Icy Wind would have put us in a much better spot. That would have slowed down Toxtricity enough. Wait, what? It's Choice Scarfed. Oh my gosh. How could Toxtricity... I should have figured that out. I guess that's the awkward thing about Toxtricity too. It just doesn't make sense that it's Choice Scarfed. So, I barely do any damage to this Hatterene. It's probably going to do something like Psychic. It does Mystical Fire, which does okay damage, but it's mainly to lower my special attack. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. There's nothing I can really do. I mean, I can Max Flare this Toxtricity. I'll guess Max. I don't know. Yeah. Always another day. Absolutely right. Yeah. And I feel like that was helpful too. Like, Colossal was a little bit harder. You know what? Maybe we should just change out the team. I do have a couple other teams I could play with. That I might be a little bit more comfortable with. I do like Volcarona. Oh, hey, I got a knockout. You know what? Let's keep on going. I got a knockout. I'm okay with that. And maybe the next turn they can hit my own weakness policy. Then I reset my... Actually, I could win this. Oh, never mind. I got a critical hit. Of course I would get the critical hit at the worst timing. Who's going to be sent out next? Grimmsnarl, right? Yeah. Grimmsnarl can set up Light Screen. I'll go with Max Flare again on the Hatterene slot. Maybe I'll get lucky and get a critical hit here. Hatterene can probably just Dynamax though, and that'll make it harder to knock it out. But maybe I get lucky. Okay, we get a Thunder Wave. I should outspeed Hatterene anyways. But maybe just give me a knockout. I get a Max Flare. Do I get a knockout? Can I get one? No, I don't get one. Okay. Well, unfortunate. Of course, the critical hit on the Mystical Fire was a tough one, but fortunately there. We lost. We've been losing a lot. I do need to eat soon. It is close to 8 o'clock, and it is getting a little bit later on my end. Let's do this. Let me revisit some of my past teams that I've really enjoyed in this format, and maybe we can try to work with them. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that real quick. But yeah, always room to learn. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and today's just one of the times I lost. But anyways, actually this was one team that I enjoyed for a while. This was the Kingdra Politoed team. So I changed it up a little bit, where Politoed actually has a Choice Scarf, and the idea behind it was just to spam Muddy Waters and just like exert a lot of offensive pressure. That is something I can still play around with. In fact, what if I Choice Scarf Primarina? So Primarina acts like a pseudo Weather Sweeper. I kind of like that idea. Porygon 2 unfortunately can't be used, but I can switch it with either Dusclops or Corsola easily. Yeah. Kind of like that a lot, actually. Yeah, wait a minute. I got an idea. I think I got an idea. Hang on, guys. I got something. I got something we can try. So, what I want to do. Let's see, where's Dusclops at? Dusclops, where you be? Maybe he's an All-Star, yeah. Yep, I'm gonna pull you back out. Alright, we gotta change up your Thief attack, because Thief is terrible. You need to know Nightshade again. Thief was meant to help steal items. So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna change up Dusclops. I think I have one idea. I'm gonna try out this team for one battle, and then I really do gotta eat, so after this one battle, I'm probably gonna call it. But I have an idea. And I think the idea behind this is to pseudo make a Choice Scarf, make a pseudo Rain Sweeper Primarina. I think that might be kind of cool. So let's talk to you. Nope, no name rating. Remember a move. Dusclops needs to know Nightshade again. Yep. You no longer know Thief. Cool. Cool. Okay. So the idea behind this is to fake that I'm going Trick Room, but in reality, I'm actually not doing Trick Room. If you guys get what I'm throwing down, you know what I'm saying? So it's similar to what we did with the Colossal team, but to kind of add a little bit of spice to it. So I am actually excited to try this out. I think we got something we can work with. So, okay, first off, you can hold that. That's fine. You can't hold Eviolite no more because you're gonna hold it. Okay, so let's go back to Team 2. Kingdra I still want to keep. I don't know if I want to keep Gastrodon. Can't keep you because... no, I don't want to keep you. Can't keep you because you're banned in this format. I'm going to bring Dusclops in here. Where's the Choice Scarf? Technically, Tyranitar has a Choice Scarf, but somebody else does too. Politoed has this Choice Scarf. I'm not going to use this type of Politoed. I'm going to use a different Politoed. I'm going to give this Choice Scarf to Primarina. Hey, what's up, Daxman? How you doing? Bummed I couldn't check out, how was the stream? Oh, by the way, man, how was your stream today? Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a new setup I was trying out. I actually moved my, setup from near the window to the kitchen area, and so I thought it'd be easy to be like, oh, you can watch the game, and also you can see my face easy. We even have the team layout here, too, which is really cool. But, yeah, we've been losing, we lost every battle but 2. So it's been a pretty hard day, for sure, in battling, but we're going to make it work. And I think I have an idea of how to kind of mess around with this team a little bit. So the idea behind this is to utilize Primarina as a pseudo Choice Scarf user. And I actually have another Primarina I built in-game that I can use for this purpose. So, yeah, the idea is like a pseudo wing sweeper that you wouldn't expect here. Yo, by the way, Daxman, this is Kitten Fangs. Kitten Fangs is also dating Neuron Gamer. So Daxman is actually a friend of mine from high school, and Kitten Fangs is a friend of mine from my first year at UTSA. So, funny enough, Daxman and I hung out at UTSA whenever Matt Music picked us up to go see Zombieland, and so that was really cool. But yeah, to answer Daxman's question, I am using a Hauppauge, and so I've had the Hauppauge since 2012, actually. It's been really helpful, and so I use that to capture gameplay, which has been great, and so I've been using it for this stream. But yeah, no, let's see what we can... Ice Beam. I can teach Primarina Ice Beam. I could teach it Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump gives me a Dynamax move. That's water, but I'm not gonna use it often. So I'll probably teach a Hydro Pump for the sake of just teaching it. And I got 60 of them. It's like a ridiculous amount. So cool. I'll do that. Cool. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Daxman's awesome. His content is great. I always enjoy going on his streams. And we actually will feature his streams from time to time on this channel whenever we host. So Daxman's awesome. Great community. Great folks there. So definitely recommend checking him out. But yeah, hopefully we can make this Primarina work. Funny enough, this is an in-game Primarina too. So I am excited to see what we can do to make this happen. But anyways, I'm going to try out a new idea where I do like a pseudo Rain Sweeper Primarina, where you wouldn't expect it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. She is here. Let's go to battle teams. We'll go to the second one. I'll have Primarina, I'll have Kingdra, I'll have Politoed. I don't know if I want Gastrodon quite yet. I think I can deal with, yeah, I think what I can do, you know what? I think I have another Pokemon choice I can do. Dragonzolt, the problem with Dragonzolt is it's a great Pokemon. I think I overload on Dragon Weakness with Kingdra and Dragonzolt. Wait, hold it. I don't have to use Kingdra. I can use Mantine. Oh my gosh, we figured it out. Okay, I got a crazy team. I'm really excited for the synergy here. Get ready, guys. Aw. Nah, I feel that. I feel that for sure. Sometimes you just need a chill evening, you know? But yeah, no, I think that what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring in Politoed. Not two Politoeds. I'm going to bring in Mantine, which is a very odd choice for a... well, hang on. So, okay. Dusclops, Primarina, Politoed. I like the idea of Dragonzolt. I think I want to have Protect on it. I'll probably give it Life Orb as well. So I'm going to do that now. I'm I'm going to give you the Life Orb. I'm going to give you Protect instead of Aerial Ace. I don't think I need that much crazy speed control. Just the attacks are good. I'm going to have Alolan Marowak for sure to Lightning Rod direct anything crazy. And then finally, I could use Mantine to help put, yeah, I'll use Mantine because that way if Mantine and Alolan Marowak on this field at the same time, they can kind of negate each other. And then I have Duscloth Stick. Yeah, I kind of like this. Okay. Then one last thing I do need to teach you Protect, and then I think we're good to go. Yep, subvert those expectations, exactly what we're talking about. And so this will allow kind of like, you wouldn't expect Fumarina to be the sweeper, and so that can be helpful here too. I might not actually use a Swift Swimmer then. Yeah, who says you need Swift Swim in Rain? Yeah, let's not use it. Let's just power up Primarina like greatly, and then go from there. Cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and teach, I don't need Aerial Aces. Well, let's see. High Horsepower allows me to knock out all the electrics. Bolt Beak is really powerful. Dragon Claw's down. Max Airstreams are do. Yeah, because I feel like outside of Dynamax, I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to go get rid of High Horsepower for now. That's totally fine. Yeah, that director is crazy. It is going to be awesome to see all the new old Pokemon come back. I'm really excited for the co-op modes coming out. And definitely, you know, I know Daxman is going to stream it, and I also want to feature some of that co-op too. So if you guys are interested in doing max raids together in that regard, I would love to do max raids with y'all. I think that would be awesome for sure. But yeah, no, it'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to it for sure. Okay, I like Alolan Marowak. I think my question here is that, do I need Swift Swim or not? Because if I have Mantine, I do protect myself with the Lightning Rod. If I don't go with Mantine, look at Mantine. Mantine has Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, which is nice, and Hurricane. Yeah, you also have Max Airstream except for it. I feel like Lapras could also be helpful. Yeah, I feel like what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually not going to use Swift Storm. I'm just going to go with, yeah. Choice Scarf, Eviolite, Leftovers, Stick Club, Citrus Berry, and Life Orb. Yeah, I kind of like this. I like this a lot. Okay, so, what I'm going to do is we'll probably only have time for one battle. We're going to take one quick break so I can update the graphics, or maybe I can update the graphics while you guys are on screen. That way we can still talk. Let's just do that. I actually changed pretty much the whole team. Okay, maybe I do need to download all these and take some time. Yeah, actually, one cool thing to note too is that on the Direct they did reveal that the expansion pass and the base game can all be downloaded on one cartridge. You can actually buy that starting November. It'll come in an all-in-one package. So that might also be an option to look into. I'm not sure if it's cheaper or not. It might be something to look into. Anyways, I am actually going to go ahead and take a small break so I can download all the assets, get that ready to go. So we'll be right back after these messages, folks. Not really messages. It's just like random pictures. Oh, fun fact, when you guys see the commercial break, the pictures I rotate, I designed them all. So, yeah, let me know your feedback on them. It was an old project of mine. Hey everybody, thank you so much for your patience, and I have been enjoying, as I was updating the team, I was been enjoying reading y'all's comments. That means so much to me. Yeah, actually Pidgeot and Primarina were one of my absolute favorites to make. Kitten Fanes mentioned that they were some of her favorites. And actually, funny enough, let me show you guys something. So on my phone, the Pidgeot background is actually my text message kind of background. So it's fun to also use them in my own personal life. So, funny story about these designs. Originally, I wanted to improve on graphic design this year, and so I kind of set up a project where I was like, okay, I have my top 58 favorite Pokemon of all time. I was going to make a graphic design based on them, and before quarantine hit, and say like by the end of the year, I'd complete all 58. And before quarantine hit, I was able to knock out 10, but then afterwards, I was like, I would spend like, a couple days knocking out like 10 or 20 or 30. I would spend like 30, like I would spend like, I would be able to knock out like 5 or 10 at a time. And it was awesome that like, it was like a max of 3 weeks working on it. I was finally able to knock it out. And I thought that it would take a whole year. It only took 3 weeks, which was crazy. So I was really excited to see that come to fruition. And I'm thrilled that you guys really enjoy it as well. So that's awesome. Yeah, so thank you so much for the compliments. That means a lot. And it was something I was really excited to kind of create. So we do have this team back on backfill in case we do want to bring up the Volcarona and Friends team. But we are using the electric, crazy Zapdos Chicken Boy here with Dusclops, Primarina, Choice Scarf, Politoed, Alolan Marowak, Lapras, and Dragonzolt. The nice thing about Alolan Marowak too, actually Daxman has a copy, a version of this Alolan Marowak. It took a long time, but what I did was I got all the champion ribbons that you could get for a Cubone, and so it's almost impossible to actually get the one from Trainer Red, because technically Alolan Marowak only comes from Gen 7. So what I did was I had a Cubone, had him get the ribbon you would get from defeating Red, then transfer them to Sun and Moon, evolved them there, and then brought them to Sun and Sword and Shield. So kind of a unique Pokemon for sure. Alright, and speaking of weather, it looks like we're facing against another one with Primarina, I'm so sorry, Charizard, Ninetales, Milotic, Dusclops, Gastrodon, and Rhyperior. So it really does look like the opponent is going to be prepared for this weather war. Thank you so much. And it really was Zapchick Chicken Boy. We have to point him out. This matchup, he doesn't seem as great. Against Milotic, maybe, but I don't feel as confident in the rest. I like Primarina a lot, just because Primarina can actually hit with the grass attacks. And the nice thing, too, is Primarina actually works well as a Dynamax target. I could Dynamax Primarina as kind of like, oh, I was fast, and then I kind of slowed things down and hit Gastrodon as well. So I really do like Primarina in this matchup. I also like Politoed. I think I might lead with the Primarina Politoed, the Hydrate Pals, or something like that. We'll come up with a better acronym there. Marowak doesn't really serve much purpose. I do like my own Dusclops. I think that Dusclops might be helpful in case I do need to switch in, and Lapras as well. So I feel confident with this type of lead. And the opponent probably will bring in Gastrodon. I feel like I have enough answers to deal with Gastrodon as well. So, I think the one thing I do need to be mindful of is the opposing Milotic. But even then, I think I have enough tools in the belt to kind of deal with Milotic for sure. So we'll see what happens here with the opponent. Politoed is great, and also too, it underspeeds Ninetales, so I'll probably get the weather out first. So we are going to see Milotic and Dusclops first, versus Primarina and Politoed. So the nice thing here is that the opponent doesn't see that I have, well, the opponent might be able to set up, okay, so, never mind, he does see the Choice Scarf already, so he's going to see that, okay, I am actually going to outspeed here, so, unfortunate there. But I think what I can do is probably hit this Milotic now, and then I could probably Helping Hand to try to help power through that hit. Because the thing here is I can also switch into my Dusclops, which isn't a problem. And if they're like, oh, I'm going to switch into with my Sunsetter, and if they stay in with Milotic, I'll still be okay, because I can hit with this strong energy ball that's going to be boosted thanks to the Helping Hand. So I'm hopeful that this will do a lot of damage here, and kind of make things a little bit easier down the line. Dusclops might feel confident and set up Trick Room, but I honestly don't mind in the long run. because I have my own Dusclops, and I can also reset any weakness policies thanks to haze and things like that. So a lot of different options here, so I am excited to see it. So we are unfortunately going to see the withdraw, and the withdraw is going to go for Gastron. Ooh, yes! Ooh, yes! Oh! 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 But with the helping hand, you might have that window berry, buddy, but this helping hand, that's enough for that knockout. Look at that. We got rid of Gastrodon. And that means that Rain offense is free to reign. We are free to reign. And we are going to see the Nightshade. But the cool thing here is that, hey, you know what? I've already set up myself in a great position here. Oh my gosh, that knockout was so great. And this sets up Lapras in the long run. This sets up a lot of different Pokemon. Oh my goodness, what a go. Let's freaking go. Let's go. Let's get some hype in the chat. Let's get some hype in the chat. Hype in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. All right, we got to keep this momentum up. The Melodic is back up again. But you know what? This puts her in a tough spot because I'm just going to go to the same plan. I'm going to go Helping Hand Energy Ball. Thing here, you might protect, but I mean, I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried because what are you going to do with Melodic? I might have to take a little bit of damage here, or like, maybe Trick Room does get set up, but then I'll just switch around. I'll kind of mitigate it. I'll mitigate the damage I'm taking, and I'll make it work. So, I am going to kind of put this pressure on the opponent. We are going to see the Dynamax here. So this Dynamax is probably coming from the Melodic. I am curious, because if Melodic decides to Dynamax, what is her endgame? Is it weakness policy and Melodic thinks it can survive? In which case, that might be something to consider. But, yeah, I mean, again, I'm going to hit off pretty strong with this Energy Ball. And I don't know if the opponent likes that. We don't see an Ally Switch, so that would have been a better choice here. But we are going to see the Ally Switch, actually. So the Ally Switch does mean that we are going to aim into this Dusclops slot. But it's still going to be a decent hit. I might even lower its special defense. So no special defense, and we're going to see a Max Geyser. So Melodic fires off a Max Geyser, which is fine. Yeah, Primarina survives the hit well. Okay. So I think in this case, I am going to Energy Ball into... So we do know now that Dusclops has Ally Switch. It did reveal that. So we can still say that you're going to Ally Switch again, and I am going to Helping Hand one more time, and I'm going to aim it into the Dusclops slot. We are going to see the Helping Hand. I'm going to fire that off. But yeah, Primarina did her job. We were able to get that knockout. We do get a Helping Hand into the Dusclops one more time. Not a big deal here. I'm not too worried here. And we are going to get the Max Starfall, actually. Max Starfall is going to fire off into the Primarina slot. I take that like a champ. Look at these. I'm not even I mean, nothing's happening. Like, this is great. I mean, you might have protected yourself against status. We're going to see the Trick Room, though. So that might be a little bit problematic in the long run. But the thing is, I have my own Dusclops in the back. And so, like, even if I lose out here with Dusclops, not a big deal. So I am going to Helping Hand one more time, and I am going to set up this... I'm going to Helping Hand, and I am going to set up this Energy Ball, because I think I can end game Parasol. I think that's the main thing. Melodic has not... I mean, it's taking her a full 3 turns to knock out Primarina. So we are in a great spot. Most likely what we are going to see, though, is that Dusclops is going to Nightshade here. Which I should have... Now that I'm replaying this, I should have predicted that and protected. Because, yeah, that's enough to knock out here. And that means I will be taking a full-fledged attack from this Politoed, where I could have protected, put myself in a better spot here. But not a big deal overall. I will have to take this Max Starfall. I could have done a better job of protecting myself here. But I take that like a champ. Wow, this Melodic is exerting no offensive pressure whatsoever, which is amazing. I love seeing this. And in fact, I think what I want to do here is I want to defeat this Dusclops. If I can knock out Dusclops right now, I think we're going to be in a great spot to just click the Parasol button and win it. So we actually reveal the Assault Vest. So Melodic does reveal it to be pretty bulky. In that case, I don't think I really care about knocking out Melodic. I think in this case, I want to knock out this Dusclops and be done with it. So Dusclops actually uses Imprison. Kind of a tough break there. I won't be able to use my own Nightshade. But I do get off the Scald, which is totally fine here. And that does put Dusclops in a tough spot. we are going to see Blizzard come out. But Blizzard doesn't scare me because thanks to your Max Starfall, I can't be frozen. The rain might have stopped, but whatever. I think at this point I don't really care. Like, me losing rain is not a big deal. I think the problem is that my own Dusclops can't use Nightshade. It can use Ally Switch. It can't use Ally Switch, actually. But I could Helping Hand. And Helping Hand might be enough to get this Scald knocked out. So I'm actually going to do that. Yeah, I don't know what the opponent's endgame is here. But if I get one more knockout, then I can just Parasong and be done with it. And that's what I'm hopeful for. The opponent is not exerting any offensive pressure whatsoever. So I'm hopeful I can use that to my advantage here. Yeah, I mean, it's just more of like a defensive wall. But their Dynamax did not do anything. And knocking out that Gastrodon so early on was super helpful. So there we go. There we go. We are going to see the Helping Hand come out from Dusclops to my own Politoed. But we're going to see an Ally Switch. Nope, we just see a Nightshade. Totally fine here. I will have to take it. I mean, it's fine. And I will use a Scald. I'm able to knock out Dusclops. Look at that. Great, great, great turn here. And we are going to see a Disarming Voice, which is pretty weak. Disarming Voice doesn't do too much here. I barely get anything. Critical hit on my Politoed, but honestly, not a big deal. There we go. We're going to recover thanks to those leftovers. I unfortunately don't have Pain Split on my Dusclops. I think that would have been helpful for recovery. But I think at this point, we are pretty much set. We do see the Rhyperior. The Rhyperior does, it doesn't really threaten my team too much. I could technically use Scald and then Allies. I'm going to go ahead and Ally Switch just so I don't have to deal with a really strong attack. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and, yeah, I am going to Ally Switch. And I'm going to go ahead and use Parasong and just set that up for the end game here. Wow, this is a strategy I haven't been able to use since 2014. And I'm so excited we're going to run this strategy now. Get ready, folks. Here comes the song. Can we get some music notes in the chat? We gotta find an anthem for a Parasong, right? Like, oh. But anyways, we're going to go with the Ally Switch here. I'm hopeful that we can make this work. We do get the Rock Slide. I avoid it with Politoed, which is great. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Dusclops does take a decent amount of damage here. And I set up that Parasong. And there it is. There it is. You have to knock out all of my Pokemon in 3 turns. And we do get a Blizzard off, but this Blizzard is not going to do that much anyways. So not very effective on Politoed. Politoed is just hanging in there, making it work. Yeah, we got those music notes. Get the Parasong in here as we get the countdown. They got to knock out 3 Pokemon in 3 turns. Trick Room is over. The Mist disappears here, so that's helpful. I think here what I want to do is I don't want to knock out this Rhyperior now. I kind of want to double up later. I think right now I'm going to go ahead and just hit this Nightshade button. Dusclops is pretty much going to... Oh, wait, I should have targeted on Rhyperior, but not a big deal. Dusclops is pretty much going to be knocked out... yeah, Dusclops is pretty much going to be knocked out here. I'm okay with that. And I think it's just more of like, let me double up in the Rhyperior slot near the end game, and that's what we're playing. We're going to see the Icy Wind. Icy Wind does protect Politoed, and Dusclops is going to be knocked out here. Oh, wow, I survived that handedly. Wow, that did nothing. Politoed does not take any damage. Dusclops does, and that's enough to knock it out. But at this point, I got a free Dynamax, and I can just be like, yo, I'm going to Dynamax my Lapras, and we're going to go all in on knocking out your Rhyperior. Parasong is down to 2. I just got to survive 2 more turns. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Lapras. And it's pretty much game, set, and match because we're going for that Max Geyser, and we're going for that Scald right here into the Rhyperior slot. Rhyperior will not be able to survive this onslaught, and even if it gets the weakness policy boost, it's way too late. Trick Room's over. We got this on lock. So we are going to Dynamax here. We got that Parasong up and running, y'all. You got the music in the chat. I'm so excited. I can't believe it. We found a way. We found a way. I found a way. Getting some Drake and Joss up in here, some throwback. we got Lapras up in this business. She is Dynamax, ready to go. Look at that unit. She is like a cruise ship. We're going to actually see the Blizzard actually outspeed Politoed and Lapras. And we get the Scald up. Politoed outspeeds Lapras. That's interesting to know. I do not get Hyperior, so I didn't even have to worry about Hyperior being really bulky there. I know the way. We got some throwbacks up in here. We are going to get this Max Geyser off. But yeah, at this point, it's pretty much game, set, and match. The opponent really can't do anything. Not very effective, but it doesn't really matter. Politoed gets that recovery thanks to the leftovers. And unfortunately, Melodic only has one more turn left. Parasan, she can't knock out 2 Pokemon in 1 turn. So it is game, set, and match for our opponent here. So we're going to go ahead and just use the double protect just to really sink it in. And it's game over. We won. Great fight there. I think the main thing there and what really paid off was Energy Ball. Like really, the fact that that Gastrodon came in and we just popped it was amazing. Awesome. We got a rare candy. And that means every Pokemon on our team gets the Master Rank. Alright. We can't just end on 1 win. We got to get 1 more win, and then we'll call it, alright? I know it's 8:30, I should be eating. I haven't eaten since lunch. But you know what? We're too hype in the chat. We got to get 1 more win. I think that this is a fun team. I can't wait. We figured it out. We made it work. And there's a lot of different synergy this team has. Exactly what Kitten Frames is saying. We just had to subvert the expectations. We did it there. Alrighty. So what we got here is a very tried and true, very classic Colossal team, with Weavile being the one to kind of spearhead this one. It gets a little bit in a tricky situation, just because with Colossal teams, Colossal can cause a little bit of trouble with, hey, I'm going to get super fast, I'm going to hit you really hard. But I think what we can do here is if we do predict the Colossal at the lead, we could win in Dragazult and Dusclops. The nice thing, well, let's see. There is something else I need to check on Dragazult. I think a Max Airstream would have been helpful here. Oh, I have it! Oh, we could do this. Okay, because if they also go Weavile, Virizion, I can still get off a Max Airstream to knock out Virizion because it's 4 times weak. I think Dragazult Dusclops is going to be super helpful here. Wait, I don't have high horsepower, do I? No, I don't. Oh, wait, no, I got a better idea. Primarina Dusclops. Because the thing here is, as long as I protect Primarina for 1 turn, I can knock out Colossal. If it's Virizion, that might be a little bit harder. I think with Virizion, I have... Oh, jeez, I got 5 seconds left. I'm going to go with Lapras. Why not? Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. But yeah, I think the main thing here is that I want to ally switch. And then from there, say, like, look, I'm going to just ram into you, and you're just gone. And I think I can do that. I think I can do this. The Gastrodon switching can happen, in which case I can switch to Energy Ball and we'll be okay. But let's figure it out. So we got Colossal Weavile, okay, expected. And then we are going to go with Dusclops and Primarina. So I think in this case, the opponent's going to see this and say, hey, I want to knock out your, Sash weakness policy as expected. So we're going to go ahead and use this ally switch here. And then I am going to go ahead and try to knock it out with this Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice will be able to hit both of them, and that should be able to do some decent damage here. If not, then it might be perfect. Perfect. Okay. I'm hopeful that they call it wrong and hit Dusclops instead. Dusclops can probably survive a +2, but I will be able to knock out this Weavile with... I will be able to knock out this Colossal for sure with my Hyper Voice. No questions asked. I think that will happen. We are going to see the Fake Out, unfortunately. I should have played that a little bit differently. We do get the Ally Switch, which still helps. I do flinch, I can't move, but I get the Max Overgrowth. If it goes on the Colossal spot, if it goes on the Dusclops spot, that still works in my favor. Okay. So, the Fake Out was an interesting play. I did not expect that. I also was bummed that it out-prioritied my Assault, Ally switch. Okay, so this plays a little bit interesting tech. Weavile. Oh, wait, no. Hang on, hold it. I'm choice. I can't protect because that would be one thing. Max guard and then haze. I don't think I can survive a plus. I might be able to survive a +2. So I could Dynamax here, hit the Colossal and be done with it. I can't switch into anything. Nothing I can switch into will be able to take this hit. So I think what I want to do is do this Max Geyser move, and then go ahead and use Nightshade on the Weavile. Okay. Damn it. I played into this. I played way too. I played into this too much, man. I should have thought better. This guy is smart. He ain't letting me just take it. But it doesn't mean the end of the world, though. Because if they're protecting a Colossal, the only thing the Colossal can do is butt Max Vocalith. Okay, I gave Gastrodon the Storm Drain. Not a big deal here, okay? Okay, so we wasted 1 turn of Dynamax. They only got 3. We are going to see the Vocalith. But you know what? We're going to figure it out. We'll make it work. Beamer's going to have to take this hit. I'm okay with that. Okay? We'll figure it out. We'll get this one. Ah, crit on that? Come on now. I didn't need a crit. I do get the Nightshade off. But, yeah, and luckily though, the healing from Grassy Terrain will help me out a little bit here too. So I don't think we've lost yet. I think it's just more of like, yeah, figuring out the pieces here. It's been tough. Okay, so I am going to go for that Max Overgrowth. I'm going to use Ally Switch in case I see some weird shenanigans coming up. Okay, we are going to see a Protect. I might be able to power through this though. I'm not too worried as much, because then at the end of the day I can just hit Hyper Voice afterwards. So I will get this Max Overgrowth. Yeah, that does a lot of damage. We're gonna get the Max Flare. Max Flare makes it harder for me to use water attacks, but honestly not as big of a deal here, because what I crit. Man, another crit? Come on, not 2 crits. Not 2 crits. 1 crit, okay. But 2 crits, that's just not fair. Alright, we got this though. We'll figure it out. Colossal's waiting to use this max move. Well, the thing is, Colossal is actually not going to be Dynamaxed anymore. The reason why Colossal did this was I'd use Max Flare. It's not very effective, but the idea behind this is now I can fire off Solar Beams. I can fire off other moves here. So it's not actually going to use speed here. So what I can do, I'm going to Nightshade that spot, and then I'm going to go ahead and use Max Overgrowth again on the Gastrodon slot. Now it is possible that the Gastrodon is going to switch out, but it's not. I do get to knock it out. I think the rest of my team is actually very water friendly, so that is going to help out in the long run of things. So even though it took a lot longer to knock out this Gastrodon than I would want it to, I am happy that at least we did something here. Dusclops actually avoiding the Heat Wave is really nice. So we still got this. We can still make this work. I am going to get off this Nightshade. That's going to be helpful in ranking up some damage here. And Colossal is going to recover some HP thanks to the Grassy Terrain. Now the thing here too is that despite now that yeah, now that Weavile's back out, and I turned on the Rain with Drizzle, the opponent's put in a weird spot. He can try to fake out my Politoed to prevent any weird shenanigans, or he can try to go for the Surf now to try to knock things out. And if he does that, I'm going to cover up this play. Here's how I'm going to do this. I'm either going to Haze, I'm going to haze and I'm going to scald. And with this either says, hey, I'm going to knock you out, or no. Okay, so we're going to actually see a withdraw here, which is totally fine. We're going to see the Virizion come in, so we're going to see the beat up combination. We do see a fake out. And I get off a haze. So this also gives the opponent a weird thing he has to deal with. Because now, it's either Virizion... I still lost this, I think, but... oh well. I will say that the opponent knew their team really well. And by able to use Virizion and Coalossal in conjunction, and Gastrodon, they're able to make this work out really well. But we'll figure it out, we'll make it work. So Grassy Terrain is over, so that also should mean that the Vocalith should be lifted. Yeah, Vocalith is lifted too. Okay. So Virizion is probably going to get the beat up combination. Virizion will most likely go into the Dusclops slot. I can't really help in hand here. I can't do both Ally Switch and Haze. But I am going to try to Haze this. And I am going to try to Scald the Weavile slot. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess I see what they're trying to go for. By eliminating Dusclops early, then you can't really do the beat up. Leaf Blade is going to hit pretty hard into the Politoed slot. It is a one-hit KO, unfortunately. Virizion shows that it's Life Orbed. And I get it off Haze, but what does Haze do at this point, you know? I think Lapras might actually be helpful here. And what I can do is try to get this Freeze Dry to knock out this Virizion. Virizion is known to be especially defensively bulky, which could be helpful. Yeah, I think I was a little bit... yeah, I'm not as comfortable with these teams, and I think that's the problem. I just got to get better at playing around a little bit more. The Ally Switch here is to try to bait any like weird shenanigans where you're going to try to beat up. You're going to beat up the Lapras, which is totally fine here. I will take that, and hopefully with this Freeze Dry, I should be able to knock out. We do see the Leaf Blade into the Dusclops slot. Totally fine here. Life Orb kicks in, and hopefully with the Freeze Dry, I can try to knock out. Not enough for a freeze. Yeah! Hey, I will take that happily. You know, you don't always get lucky with those, but I will happily take that. I think in this case, I'm actually going to aim into the Virizion slot, because it's quite possible you're just going to throw in Coalossal. And so if I just capitalize on that, I could win this. Sure, I'll take this. Why not? Virizion is Frozen Solid. We're going to see beat up into the Lapras slot again. Crit with that. I am going to get this Hydro Pump off. Personally would rather not have done... well, no, that's fair. And I think here I'm just going to go ahead and hit the Hydro Pump into the Weavile slot. We're going to win by a freeze? I feel bad about this, but, you know, hey, you got to do what you got to do to win, right? So we're going to get this Hydro Pump off. That brings Weavile to its Focus Sash. Rain's over, but really doesn't make a big difference in the long run. Wow, I can't believe it. We're going to win because of freeze. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, but it is Pokemon. I've been on the other side too, where I've lost battles because of freeze. I've lost battles because of critical hits. It is part of the game, so I do respect my opponent, and they did really play well, 100%. Like, if we were in a real match, I'd totally be like, hey, you did a heck of a job here. So, like, I mean, nothing but mad respect. But yeah, I honestly think that this might be it. It's very unlikely that Virizion will unthaw itself. It's Frozen Solid, so I get a free shot to just Thunderbolt here. I don't know why I went with Thunderbolt. Well, I guess I didn't want to waste PP for its Freeze Dry. I guess I'm revealing everything in my hand. I think the one thing that the opponent... what could happen is that the opponent... that is absolutely true. It is not cheating because it is part of the game, absolutely. But what could happen here is that the opponent unthaws and knocks me out, which I've never seen before. I think freezes. I think you have to... Oh, it did! Oh, wow, okay. Fair enough. Good, I'm glad. I'm glad. It's never happened to me before. I've never unthawed in the game, so... I'll take that loss for sure. And Virizion is knocked out with that, but, man, that was a nasty one, for sure, and I walked into that Gastrodon for sure. I should have predicted, went for the max overgrowth, and I think we could have had a better shot there, so. Anyways, yeah, no, I gotta eat before I go to sleep, so. Unfortunately, I will have to cut out the stream a little bit early. Bummed, especially because we could have done a lot better this turnaround. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know today wasn't as exciting. We had a lot of losses, unfortunately. And we just weren't able to really pick up momentum. Even with the New Year team, I am glad that we did get that win, but still some shakiness. Unfortunately, kind of tumbling in the ranks here. But I really do appreciate y'all tuning in. It was awesome. Great games overall, absolutely. First off, I do want to shout out a couple people. Shout out to Toby2Spades for coming in. Loved hearing about your Wish costume earlier. It was great to see you on the stream. Kitten Fangs and Neuron Gamer, thank you so much for hanging out on the stream today. It was awesome seeing you guys. Daxman, awesome to see you as well. I hope your stream went well as well. I know that you were playing, I think you were playing Fallout, guys, right? That was the last I checked. So I hope that it went well. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I'm really pumped for the Crown Tundra coming out. Hopefully we can get better at this metagame for sure. I just updated my ranking. I'm curious to see how many matches I'll... So we're at 18 wins, 16 losses. So still not that bad. We still have a winning streak. We still have a winning record, right? So I'll take that. I'll take that. But anyways, thank you again, guys, so much. And hopefully next time we will get some more wins. But until next time, if you can you make sure you do me one more favor? Make sure you have a great day, all right? All right, y'all take it easy. Peace. And I'll see you next time.